Hello. We're back. This is
Damn right
episode
we
18. I'm Jake with Longleaf Reptilia.
are. I am Sky. Peach Throw Passion. Hail the scales. This is Flippin 10, people. How are you? We're out here on a Friday. We're on a Flippin 10
Yeah.
Freaky Friday. We're on a forget all your morals Friday. Just get after it. Kill people and turtles if you're in traffic.
Yeah, you know all about that. A little too well.
Get after it as they say.
Yes. Yeah, we're recording on a Friday today. Sorry for the late notice. We yesterday was Halloween and stuff, and we figured people would be busy. So we decided to shoot forward today. But we're here. We have a guest that we're very excited about. He'll be here in a little bit after we go through some write-ins. And
You said Halloween, and all I thought was spooky, scary skeleton.
for people who aren't watching, he actually had a skull in his hand for that.
Human skull, actually.
But I already got a couple people in the chat. Hunter, what's going on, man? Jason, I specifically told you not to come in here, so I don't know.
You were actually the only guest we didn't want to see tonight.
Yeah. So Joshua, what's up, man?
Heck yeah.
Glad we already got some people here. Looks like there's 6 people viewing right now, so that's always good. I appreciate it.
Got a couple of our loyal folks tuning in on a Friday.
Yes. I just threw something up on our story, so hopefully a couple people see that. But anyway, Sky, you want to talk about your endeavor today? That was scary.
I'll do that really quick. I actually did go herping the other day. I did a little walk.
Yeah.
I finally broke my dry streak. I got a massive black racer. So
Nice.
finally at least got a snake. But yeah, I got a black racer. There was a bunch of race runners out, and just good to get out and see nature and finally see some of the water receding. So hopefully can actually I'm supposed to go herping this weekend with one of our homies. I won't it's a little bit of a surprise. I won't break it yet. I'll just send you some pictures of us
were you
up.
supposed to see him last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who it is because I was talking to him.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to go herping with the goat this weekend. So we'll see how that goes out. But
talk to him about
today I almost got
coming on
traffic
for an episode.
Say what?
Talk to him about coming on for an episode.
Yeah, I already did. We just gotta work out the kinks, so to speak.
Yeah.
But what Jake was talking about, I'll make it quick. If you follow the Hail the Scales page, you saw me ranting and shaking this morning. I try to stop and save every bit of wildlife, and if I see something that's recently hit, I always stop to check. You never know. There's been numerous lives I've been able to save, numerous babies I've been able to take to rehab. It's always worth it. Massive soft shell turtle. I mean, if I were to guesstimate, this thing was probably this big around. He was coming into my lane off the shoulder. I'm in my truck and trailer, yank the truck and trailer over. By the time I get running to it, he's in the middle of the lane. Humanity blows my mind that they can't see someone in the middle of the road waving their hands, yelling stop at a giant turtle, which there's no way you didn't see the turtle. This thing is massive and it's in the middle of the road. So luckily enough, I picked this thing up. I've talked about it before. There's a true method, tried and true method. Soft shell turtles, you can grab them by the bottom of their shell. There's like a little indentation where their back legs are. If you can get them there and brace the top of their shell, you can usually safely hold them without getting bit. So I just ran up, raked them from the bottom, picked them up, and was able to jump out of the way. And I'm literally not kidding. This person didn't even hit the brakes. And it blew my mind. I was so shaken up and just mad at the world that I think the reason I made my post was because I just wanted to feel understood and feel like I was seen and heard in a time where I felt so fucking invisible. And I felt so bad for, wildlife, because this thing, soft-shelled turtles are slow-growing turtles. This thing is a dinosaur. I was actually talking to Jason Keller earlier, and he's like, dude, that thing was probably older than me if it was that big. And I was like, that's exactly why I was so mad for people to just senselessly kill an animal after it's made it through a lifetime of trouble and tribulations, and to just senselessly be killed as you're rolling up to a red light made no sense to me. And the fact that you're almost going to kill a human in the process makes even less sense to me. So I had a little bit of a wild morning, but I do appreciate everyone that did see my story on Instagram. Like an hour later, I like obviously calmed down and was like, oh, maybe that was dumb to post that. But I had so many people hit me back and agreed with me and were like, dude, we need more people like you. And it just like made me feel good about it, made me feel better about the situation. So thanks for having my back on my wild rant this morning. But save wildlife, you guys. They don't have a voice. They got no one fighting for them. We are literally the only ones that can fight for them as the world is being developed and torn down around us. So is be careful. I had someone reach out and tell me to get a safety vest because that would be a good thing to just be like, hey, dude, I got a vest on too. Like you really can't see me. I have a safety vest on. So that's one thing I am absolutely going to start keeping in my car for like my road cruising bag or just my general stuff bag. I always keep like a couple of sorted things right in my center console. A safety vest is now going to be in my center console because I will be putting that on because worst comes to worst, you do get hit trying to save something. They could fight you and they'd be like, oh, this person's in the middle of the road. It's a busy road. And you could end up getting in trouble while you're out there trying to save wildlife. If you got a safety vest on, at least you have a better fighting chance in the court of law. It looks better on you. You're doing things by the, a law abiding citizen. So end of rant, end of trouble. I like turtles. Save wildlife.
Glad you're alive, buddy.
Flippin' 10. Jake almost became a single host today.
Yeah, no, I don't think we would have been doing an episode if that happened. I'm pretty sure I would be on my way to Florida right now if that happened.
Mourn my death. Take my animals.
I'd be doing something. I don't know what I would do, but I'd be doing something. Oh, Lord. Yeah, you need to, if something ever happens to you, you need to like put me somewhere, be like, contact podcast co-host.
Jake. Dude, yeah, that made me realize like I do need an actual setup now that I'm like a single man with no one around and no family around. Like I should probably have like a will ready with all of this shit I have because literally anything could happen at any time. So yeah, smart move.
Yeah, come up with somebody that can help with the monitors because your boy doesn't.
I'll have to be like,
know much about that.
So. I'll have to be like, yeah, these wild dinosaurs that are in my living room, send those to a zoo or something because like fucking.
Jeez. Oh man. Yeah, I haven't. I've been a bad herper, man. I haven't been out like at all since the boys came down a couple weeks ago. Which you were supposed to be on, but whatever.
Hurricanes and shit.
Yeah, fucking hurricanes.
Hurricanes being broke.
Yeah. Joshua Stover added a comment. I've added a flashing orange light on the roof of my truck for when road cruising. If I stop and get out, I flip it on. Plus, it kind of makes me look official. It's true.
I like that.
It's not a bad idea.
That tip.
Not a bad idea. I also think an orange vest would make you look more official too. Like you
have the vest and the light, bro. Now you're doubled up. Like, who are you? I left my badge at home. Tina's got it. She forgot my lunchbox. I'm sorry. I'm just out here handling road duty. Couple cones got left. I'm out here picking them up. Cops just gonna leave you alone. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I technically have I have a county ID for work, but I also have like a badge. Looks like a law enforcement badge because I'm an enforcement officer with the county for stormwater. And I've thought about carrying that so many different times, man, just to be like, hey, keep moving.
Yeah.
Hey, right here. Come on.
You should, bro. Just because.
Thought about messing with people like fishing and stuff. Be like, hey, I'm gonna need you guys to vacate the spot. We're doing a research on this endangered fish here, so I'm gonna need you to go. Okay, thanks. No. Because I could go to jail.
That's using your power the wrong way. I'm trying to get out of trouble, all right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. Nothing really new on my end. Haven't been herping much. I did make a Morph Market account today, so that's up and running finally. I need
congratulations.
Yeah, I haven't posted anything yet. Gonna try to take some good pictures this weekend, get some babies and some other odds and ends up there.
The pictures is what's killing me, bro. It's so hard to get a good pic and the timing. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go in and take pictures. This one's in shed. This one still hasn't digested its meal.
Yeah.
This one's nonstop snapping at me. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Luckily for the baby rats, I'm just gonna take because I got the basic membership and I think I can only put 3 pictures per ad. So instead of posting, 17 different ads, I'm just probably gonna do 1 or 2 for males and then 1 or 2 for females. Just do 3 pictures of each one and call it a day. So we'll see. But yeah, so excited to get that going. It's gonna be a lot of work getting pictures of everything, but
Make
it'll
sure you guys hit up
be
Jake.
what it is, huh?
I said, make sure you guys hit up Jake.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that needs to go. Luckily,
Love to eat some snakes this year.
luckily I sent out 5 babies last week, and I've got a carpet going out this Tuesday. So that's cool. Some stuff's going, but
Nice.
yeah. Anyways, nobody wants to hear about that captive keeping stuff.
Lame.
So let's get into some write-ins
See that?
this eve. Our first one.
Yes.
So I'm doing this differently now, so I can see both screens. So you're going to see some of the stuff up here, but I don't really care because it's easier for me. Sorry.
No, it's not even bad.
So our first write-in is from the
Fraser.
The Fraser, Devin Fraze. He has been a loyal writer inner.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. So we're a little behind on write-ins because last week we didn't do any. We didn't really have any, but we had a couple people write in. So, and by the way, if we take forever to respond to people, it's because I like to leave them unread until the episode. That way,
we don't jumble them up or lose them. I literally will check the page and I'll be like, don't open these messages. Don't open these messages.
Yeah, it's way easier. So if we don't respond to you for like a week, that's why. It's not because we're ignoring you. But this was sent on October 17th. I told you, about 2 weeks. From Devin. He said it was 24 degrees this morning, so I haven't been finding much other than some amphibians. Enjoy that American toad I found last week. So that is the American toad. We're going to zoom in on his little derpy face.
Ribbit.
I love toads, man. And then
totally.
Shut the fuck up. Then a really cool one here. He said there's a bonus Eastern milk I found in New Hampshire back in April. It was my first New Hampshire snake of the year, and a couple days after I saw you guys in South Carolina.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if he got that thing on the crawl or if that was just a picture afterwards, but the next picture, man, where it's on the ground right there, that's so dope.
Yeah.
To find a milk snake like that, I feel like would just be so sick.
Oh, dude, I would.
Because you're normally like flipping or
I would probably
under rocks or in a crevice and stuff.
Yeah, super dope find. And then he also said pics didn't come out as nice as I'd like, but there's some redback salamanders near Mountaintop in New Hampshire. The wind and cold kept it brief.
Looks what a scenic area, bro.
Yeah, that's a beautiful view.
That's why they call seasons. You see all them red leaves, boy? That's fall.
Yeah. Cool finds. Thank you again, Devin. And thanks for writing in every week or every episode. Keep them coming. Our next. Oh, I almost sneezed. Shut up. Our next write-in is from our buddy Hunter Lister. And by the way, Devin is Devin_F99 on Instagram. You should follow him. Our next write-in comes from Hunter Lister. He is Huntman2018 on Instagram. He said a birding trip for work clearly turned into a herp trip. We were at the Noxubee. I don't know how to pronounce that. Noxubee NWR over by me in Starkville. The alligator was at the first boardwalk we went to, and the Holbrook guy was crossing the road at our next to last stop. Dude, it doesn't get much better than a Holbrook guy.
No.
I mean, oh my God.
That thing is very nice. Looks like it has
And
a little injury towards the tail, but
it
freaking A, look
does.
at all the damn
And you can
tipping
see
and shit.
you're right here the ever so slight
Bands,
bands on it,
so
man.
nice.
That is such a cool look. Um, but yeah, that's an absolutely killer snake. You can see those bands again a little bit right there.
Good stuff, Hunter.
That is so killer, man. That's one king snake I would love to find one day. That's incredible. And look how well it blends in, dude.
Dude, you can't even see it.
That's freaking nuts. And then there's the alligator out in the distance that he said they came across. And then another couple pictures. He said this southern leopard frog was chilling out at our aviary today as well.
Can't go wrong with the frogs.
Love me a little leopard frog. But that's it from Hunter. Thank you so much, man. Keep him coming. Again, that's Hunter Lister, and he is Huntman2018 on Instagram. Next, we have our buddy Nate Truax, and he is n.j.truax. That's Truax on Instagram. He also has another podcast called Croccast Podcast, which you guys should check out if you haven't already. He says went to the famous Snake Road, saw plain-bellied water snakes, rough green snake, western ribbon snake, Midland/gray rat snake, mole salamanders, newt, cricket frogs, five-line skink, and a whole lot of cottonmouths. Which I've heard. I've heard Snake Road is infamous for cottonmouths.
Yeah, Brendan wants to have all of us go.
I would love that. God, that's beautiful, man.
Right?
Oh my god.
Dude, the freaking ribbon looks insane.
Yeah. Good old cottonmouth.
Super dark cottonmouth, man. 5-liner. That's redback.
Yeah, it's salamander season now. There's that rough green.
One of my faves.
Love me a rough green.
Look
yeah,
at
that's
that
a
thing,
pretty
bro.
ribbon snake, too.
That is so sick.
Yeah. And that is the darkest Midland/gray rat snake I've ever seen. That
right?
I'm surprised. Are they not black rat snakes out there?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. But that thing is freaking dark as shit.
Well, Nate knows what he's talking about, so I'll take his word for it. But that is dark.
Dark.
That is dark. And good old plain belly.
Old river.
We got more cottonmouths.
It's so crazy, man. Those ones are black as heck.
Yeah, they're real dark. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Nate. Very cool that you got to get out there to Snake Road. So yeah, go check out Nate Truax again, n.j.truax on Instagram. Next one, a little long-winded. Not a bad thing at all, but I'm going to try and click through some of these while I read. This is from Chris Sanchez, also known as Sanchez, also known as Dirty Sanchez, also known as Dirty. And he is Project Reptilia on Instagram. Love the name, by the way, Chris. He says, good evening, sirs. As many of us are aware, the looming end of snake season means that the salamander deluge is upon us. On the cusp of our first cold snap, I tried a new spot for salamanders. There was a flush of cricket frogs and what I believe are green frogs. Didn't take long until the first several dozen salamanders were found. They were all southern two-lined. The creek was slow moving, plus or minus 4 inches deep. Sandy silt bottom, 1/2 covered the basalt and granite rock. There was substantial submerged leaf cover, elm and sweet gum that held most of the salamanders. Fish sharing the same creek were gambusia, small bluegill, and young bass ranging from 1 inch to 3 inches. The only potential prey found were some water striders, water beetles, and mosquito larvae. Something to put in your herping pack should be one Ziploc bag and gloves for handling and identifying amphibians. Hugs and kisses, Dirty.
What a guy.
What a guy. So we're going to make sure we go through. Where are we at? Go through his first set. He sent us a couple different sets of stuff. These are some.
I like the method he used too to get a lot of pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
which I've seen a lot of people. They'll take like a little acrylic clear container or something for the water aquatic salamanders and stuff like that. But the plastic bag for the frogs, that's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, on to the next group. He says, "Salutations, weirdos. Mrs. Dirty and I."
Salutations, Dirty.
Mrs. Dirty and I visited a salamander spot I found marbled and slimies previously in hopes to boost morale for an easy flip/find aforementioned. Instead, we crawled, felled, wiggled, jumped, and slogged into a series of runoff ravines and were surprised with southern two-lined and Desmognathus ssp. There are 3 subspecies of Desmognathus in the area that are extremely variable, and the only way to genuinely differentiate them is DNA. What was most interesting was the partitioning. While we found over a dozen of each genus, they never were found together. It seems that Eurecia preferred the mouth and or source of the ravine creek, whereas Desmognathus preferred areas further downstream in shallower water and under rocks. The only fish present were gambusia, and no prey items were seen. When taking photos to ID salamanders, pay close attention to coastal grooves, tail shape and length. Get a lateral, dorsal, and ventral view. Hugs and kisses, Dirty. I mean, these are just incredible pictures, man. I love these.
Homie was getting after it, bro.
He was getting after it. And we got one more set and one more.
I like the like how he noticed like where each one was using more of the habitat or where it was finding a more suitable home to reside.
Yeah.
You know?
You want to talk about some good field notes?
That's a good field note.
That's some good field notes right there. So if you need any recommendations on that, you should hit up our boy Dirty.
Good stuff, Sanchez.
Good stuff.
Attention to detail. Details attentive.
This is a cool picture. This is another portion of his writing. Good evening, you handsome hoodlums. Mind you, he sent all these like back to back. I love this so much. Good evening, you handsome hoodlums. After an uneventful herp trip to a local park, I checked a spot someone mentioned. After a few minutes of driving to the bank of this storm sewer runoff creek, I saw a large turtle floating downstream. I immediately knew it was a common snapper. However, it appeared to be dead. I made my way to the water and scooped him up. He wasn't dead at all, not even a little bit. So after struggling with the net and getting my boot bit, got him on the bank for photos. Even without an eye, he is quite a handsome son of a bitch. This is my lifer common snapper. If you look at the carapace neck junction, you can see a few leeches that only feed on turtles. Hugs and kisses, Dirty.
Dude, talk about one-eyed Willie, the snapper, dude.
Yeah, dude.
He said, I wasn't playing dead. I was actually floating for prey, buddy.
That's one-eye Willie right there.
That's so
I'm
sick.
trying to see where you can see the leeches he was talking about.
You zoom in right
above. Oh, yeah, right there. Wow.
Nose count.
That's a beautiful boy. He's got some battle scars. He's been through it.
See, it would have been nice to see that exact picture right there, but Dirty's head and beard on top of his head, like right on top of his head, resting on his shell. Jeez. That would have been so cute.
Well, thank you for the wonderful write-ins, Dirty. Again, that is our buddy Chris Sanchez, Dirty Sanchez, Mr. Dirty himself, Project Reptilia on Instagram.
What a guy.
Now, this one we saved for last because I thought this was very cool. So, our challenge was to have some type of positive Yes, some type of positive interaction with wildlife. And this didn't happen like super recently, but it happened earlier this year. And that is from Josh Stover. And this is just super, super cool.
Who's in the
Um,
chat?
yes, he's here in the chat. Josh Stover. He is herping_hillbilly on Instagram. Definitely check him out. He said, you had a challenge to have a positive encounter with a herp, so I thought I'd share something from earlier this year. I found an Eastern hognose on the crawl and acting a little strange, so I decided to just watch it. I ended up watching her excavate a nest, then lay her clutch of eggs. I kept a close eye on the nest site and ended up seeing a bunch of the hatchlings come out of the nest. It's been the year of hognose for me. So far, I've had 43 Eastern hognose observations with 29 different individuals. My goal is to get to 30 before the season's over. Thanks, Josh Stover. Forgot to mention I'm in southern West Virginia in the New River Gorge National Park. He also says, I'm a field herper, not a photographer, as you can tell by some of the pics. And I don't know. I thought some of these pics were really cool, but we're going to go through them real quick. I mean, this is just such an awesome encounter. You can see all the little babies.
Absolutely epic, dude.
Yeah, I
Once
can't
in a
believe.
lifetime type stuff right there.
Yeah, I mean, this is just incredible. To actually find a nesting female, observe her excavating a nest,
Go
and
to the
and
picture where
then be
she's
able
excavating it.
to. That was the first one,
That one right there, yeah.
and then actually be able to find the babies again that are hatched. I mean, dude, that is.
That is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean this is one of my favorite ride-ins of all time. This is just incredible. And with such a cool species too, man. I mean, come on.
Hogtober just ended, but that doesn't mean shiz.
No, it's Hogvember now.
Hogvember.
They ain't got the melanistic in there.
How sick.
And then this was a really cool shot. I love this.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Look at all the red and orange in that thing.
Yeah, that is a beautiful individual. What a beaut.
What a beaut.
So that was great. Thank you so much, Josh. And that's really what it's about right there, y'all. I mean, what an encounter, what an observation.
That one, yeah, that is literally it right there.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing with us. That's incredible. So, yeah, well, that concludes our write-ins. So thank y'all so much for sharing with us once again. We appreciate it. Please keep them coming. We know it's getting cold. We know herping's slowing down for a lot of people, but salamander season's here.
Manders.
Yes, it does not stop at snakes.
Amphibian.
So as amphibian season comes around, come on, send them over. We want to see all the herps, all the frogs, all the salamanders.
Dude, we need to go try to make some salamanders happen if we can. Yeah, I don't know how, but we need to. I need to go get the tigers. Actually, that's this month. When things really start cooling down, I'm going to go try to find those tiger salamanders an hour north of my house.
Yeah, I would love to find tigers, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that.
I'll have to make a trip out there and get after
Josh says he still hasn't found number 30, but the weather's looking good. So hopefully he gets that number 30. That'd be so sick, man. Thank you again for all the sick pictures.
Yeah, that was awesome. I hope you find 30, man. That'd be awesome. So we're still waiting on our guest to pop in. He just messaged me. So let me. So yeah, he'll be popping in here shortly. So you guys will know who it is when he comes on. We're going to be talking about a variety of things. This gentleman has traveled a good bit. And we're going to go over some really cool pictures and hear some awesome stories. And
I'm excited to hear and learn more about this
guest
for sure.
So this one,
Instagram has been
Yeah, I've been following his Instagram for a couple years now, and I really haven't spoken to him much. So this is going to be new for all of us. But we are excited. So
Yeah.
it'll be a good one.
Just based off the picture taking abilities and seeing the variety of stuff that he has on his page, this guy is put in the work. He's freaking. I mean, seems like he's the definition of what this page is about, and that's just putting in the freaking miles, putting in the time, and getting the observations. And that's why, hopefully, we can learn a few things from this dude and implement them in our own practices and get some more herps for next season, man.
Yeah, he's going to give us some solid advice. And to be honest, I don't even know where he lives. So I don't know where his normal herping stomping grounds are. But we're about to find out because he just popped in. And let's see. Can you hear us, Bryant?
We got Sanchez in the chat. Sanchez, we just did an awesome overview of all of your stuff and your write-ins, brother. That was a sick bit of field herping notes that you had put in there. We were admiring them greatly.
Yes.
Thank you, says.
Very much.
Hey.
Can you hear us, Bryant? You there?
Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Maybe not.
You guys are lagging big time. Hold on.
Okay. Let's see what we
Let's see.
Here.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you a little bit, yeah.
Super laggy.
If you're not on, I will message you. For anybody that's curious, we have Mr. Bryant McDowell on here.
What's going on?
Are you on Google Chrome, Bryant?
This is where we start beatboxing and rapping about.
Yeah,
herping.
right.
Let me tell you about some herping stories. Oh,
hold on. Sorry for the delay, guys. We normally have all this sorted.
We're 18 episode in. We at least gotta have one fail safe here.
Yeah. Trying to figure this out. I'm messaging him on Facebook right now. But yes, we are joined by Mr. Bryant McDowell this evening. If we can get him in here. And
Mr. Crocast said he was with him on the Snake Road adventures that he was on.
Yes, and they also do a podcast together called Reptile Ramblings, I believe it is. So definitely check that out.
And Chris said he'll get shit-faced and tag in for him.
Let me see. Go into settings and just the camera.
Can you hear us?
You guys hear me? Just you can't see me.
No, I can't see you. Up. We have a loading screen. Can you hear us yet?
I think it's just lagging a little bit.
Hold on.
Do I take my shirt off and start dancing? Just leave Jake. Chat. What do you guys think? Should I just leave Jake here on the screen by himself and walk away?
Please don't do that. Bryant, can you hear us? No.
Might have to log out and restart it. Maybe try a different. If it's. Did he say if he was on Google Chrome or not?
Yeah, he's on Google Chrome, which is the one we recommend. That's just so weird. We've never had. He said he might try another laptop. Yeah, that might work, Bryant. I don't know if you can hear us.
If worst comes to worst, maybe run it off your phone. We could at least still get you on your phone.
Okay. Well, I guess he's going to try it on another laptop or his phone. We sincerely apologize, y'all. Normally, we have all this sorted beforehand, but Bryant had to come in a little delayed, and everything's been seamless to date. So I didn't think we were going to have any issues, but here we are. So yeah. But if you don't follow Bryant, you absolutely should. He is
Mr. Don Bond Jr. on Instagram.
Yes,
bro.
he is Don DON_Bond BON_Junior JR on Instagram. He has some incredible photos. He's done a lot of herping in Mexico and possibly other places. I don't know.
Can you possibly pull up his Instagram at all?
I could, yes. He's about to pop on his phone, and I think that'll work a little better. So once he gets on here, we'll.
Yeah, man. I
have a bunch of pictures from him, so
I freaking scrolled on his Instagram for hours, freaking leading up to this, just looking at all the different variety of species and areas and stuff. Like, this is what makes me want to lighten my collection load so I can travel more. Man. Seeing this kind of stuff is just like, we need to get out there and see it, dude.
Yeah,
we're only here once.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I definitely got a lot of places on the agenda. I got to get some places knocked off in North America first, but after that, I think we'll be shooting for bigger things.
Bigger, better.
I won't go as far as to say better. I'll just say, different, because North America is a pretty awesome place to herp, and a lot of people outside of here, this is one of their herping destinations. So it's just kind of crazy to think about it like that, because we live here.
Throw me a zinny. Throw me a
see. But yeah, so hopefully everything gets worked out, because I was very excited for this.
Yeah, I want to hear some of these stories. I want to hear some herp stories, man.
Yeah. We got some absolutely banging pictures, man. I mean,
we could probably just go through the pictures and be like, tell us the story on how you caught this one.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, so definitely, if you're not following him, go do it right now, because if not, you're missing out. I also really love all the descriptions and different names he gives a lot of the snakes. I find it so unique and really cool. He obviously puts a lot of time and effort into not only his photography, but also, describing the animals and all that. So excited to get into it.
That's another thing we get into on this thing is, slowing down and picking up on all the little stuff. So when you see someone describing it all in a fun way, it just lets you know that they're slowing down and enjoying a moment and taking it all in for what it is.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be fun. Hopefully he gets his technical issues sorted out.
Have you watched Rob, or you shared it, that last post that Rob from Rob's Creeping It Real put up about that, man? And he's the inspiration behind the latest challenge that we have, which is go out and have a positive interaction with wildlife. And man, if you haven't, go check out Rob's Creeping It's Real. His latest post, he goes out and he interacts with another. Is it a gray or a black rat?
It's a black rat.
Black rat. He goes out, finds an awesome black rat just chilling on the side of the trail. and just
All right.
seamlessly does his thing with it.
I think we got him. Can you hear us?
Hey,
Hey, dudes.
what's up? Love the background.
What's happening? Thanks. It's my girl. She's very esoteric, as it were.
Awesome. Well, we can hear you loud and clear now. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can't. Just give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can connect to my earphones real quick.
Yeah, you're good, man. No
All
worries.
right, let's see. Boo-doo-doo-doo. But yeah, you guys held it up during the radio silence, so thanks.
Yeah,
good,
no worries. That's why we normally try and have people on beforehand, like early, so we can make sure everything's sorted. But yeah, no worries, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's always annoying with the snafus. Technology. Dude, I used to be so savvy. Yeah, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I think it's because my laptop's old as fuck. It's time. It's 6 years old, which is ancient.
Yeah, if it's older than like 2 models, they start canceling a bunch of stuff on it anyway, or something like that.
Yeah, but it's what do you call it? It's a Lenovo or Lenovo. I never know how to pronounce it.
Lenovo.
They're pretty reliable, so I mean, it's still golden. It's slow. It couldn't handle StreamYard.
I got you.
But what's up? It's finally great to add, I guess, faces to the names.
Yeah, man.
I've heard you guys here and there. I listen to some podcasts on the network, but I never really watch. I don't have the time.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way, dude. I don't do a lot of I'll listen, but I don't do the watching. So I'm right there with you. But yeah, dude, I mean, we were telling people before, I was like, I've spoken to him like a couple times, but I've been following him for like 2 or 3 years or more at least.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this one, man.
Yeah,
same dude. I mean, I love our native herps, and I love what you guys are doing. I know you, Sky, you deal with monitors, right?
Yes, sir.
For the most part, and then you deal mainly with Pantherophis, rat snakes. Rat snakes are the bee's knees, man.
Yeah, man. I actually think the first time we spoke, it was in regards to fox snakes.
Yeah, because they're native here in Illinois. So for all listeners, I'm from Illinois, and so they're with taxonomy, rat snakes. I hear you guys with the spiel. It's just bupkis, but let's just keep it like I think bull penis, like that's the fox snake's Latin name. So there's easterns and westerns. I don't know if we're easterns or westerns because the dividing range is the Mississippi River, which is kind of bullshit because there's totally sections where these snakes can cross and interbreed and whatnot. But our fox snakes are I would say mid-grade in terms of coloration and pattern.
Yeah. I've heard, so as far as I have heard, I'm not saying I agree with this, but from what I know, they're the only supposedly true population of eastern fox snakes is in Minnesota or something, around a certain lake out there or some shit like that. I don't really know the validity behind that, but that's what I was told, and I was like, okay.
I don't know either because it's so weird because that's northeastern for me, and
right.
You get into Michigan, then you get vastly different fox snakes, which are very vibrant and colorful for the most part. And we're kind of in the middle where some individuals I found are really colorful. We'll probably touch on that later. And others are pretty drab where they have brownish orange heads. Do you still have your fox snakes?
Yeah.
You got to put them on, man. You don't talk about them enough.
Yeah, man. I really don't. I really should. They're awesome, man. I have the westerns. Mine are from Nebraska.
Dude, people don't even know they range that far west.
Yeah, exactly. They're super cool, man. Such a unique snake. I describe them. It's like a Pituophis and a Pantherophis had a baby, and it was kind of ugly. Yeah, they're cool, man. They're just such unique little rat snakes, man. They're really cool.
Yeah, they're like all-terrain vehicles because I mean they are dense and thick. They don't really climb too. They have the ability to climb like any rat snake, but they don't do it as much.
No, and you can even tell it in their sheds. Their sheds are thicker. It's just weird. I don't know how to describe it, but
yeah. Oh, I remember we touched on where for the most part they're kind of semi-aquatic. I find them a lot around marshes and wetlands, and it makes sense to have that. That kind of thick hide when you're dealing with aquatic environment. Because, Nerodia, they're thick scaled and they got the keels and everything. Yeah. So it makes sense. And they're dealing with predators like mink that have sharp ass teeth and snapping turtles. So they're dealing with a lot in these
mink are vicious. They are vicious little creatures.
That's our version of a Tasmanian devil, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're nuts.
They're mustelids, right? Like mustelids are like badasses. They're hardcore
Yeah.
little critters.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, let's jump into this. Let's start with the basics. Give us who you are, how'd you get into field herping, and how it all started for you.
Well, like you guys, I think announced me. I'm Bryant McDowell. I'm here in Illinois in the good old Midwest. What I guess you boys would say the Great North, even though Minnesota, like you said earlier, that's the Great North.
That's the Great North. I was born in Wisconsin, so
Okay.
that's the Great White North.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, really, it started, I think, with similar to a lot of other people, dinosaurs, man. I was so heavy into dinosaurs. So much so, I was really contemplating when I was young to be a paleontologist, I would read all the dinosaur books. I would read even like really like top tier scientific books and whatnot. Like I was heavy into it. And then later down the line, I realized, well, I mean, these fuckers are dead. They're never coming back. We're never going to see them. So like the closest example, besides birds, I know birds are reptiles, folks, but besides birds, we have, our native herps, mainly reptiles. And so I just kind of bandwagon onto herps, and then I kind of just got into the literature. I was a big time reader when I was younger. Nowadays, dude, I'm hard pressed to finish like 10, 15 books a year. It's so hard now.
Yeah.
But that's mainly how it started for me. And then I really didn't get into field herping until like my teenage years, my late teenage years, because I didn't really know that was a thing.
Yeah. Very cool, man.
Have you lived in Illinois your whole life?
Born and raised, been here my whole life. Obviously, I've ventured out as I gotten older and have a car, but yeah, for the foreseeable future, I'll probably be here for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is my home.
Nice.
Man.
Okay.
That's good. So I know we'll go ahead and get it out of the way. I know you don't keep much. You said you have a very small, limited collection, but what came first? Were you keeping first and then got into field herping, or was it vice versa?
Well, let's put it like this: we first started with a family heirloom that we still have today, a little Russian tortoise. That's still
nice.
I got that sucker when I was 5, and like, man, I kind of wish my parents pressed on to me more. Like, are you sure you want this? Do you know what you're doing? Because I didn't know what to think. I just knew you just get a 40 gallon breeder setup, put a light on that sucker, rep the chip, and then you're good. And that's legit. I mean, it's unfortunate, but because Russians are very hardy, but that's how he was for a good 10 years until I upgraded him to like a bigger enclosure, and like he's doing well now. So hopefully he is trucking, but hopefully he'll truck on a lot more now that he's like properly set up.
Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, you should. He'll live a long time. That's
They live. I mean, they're just like every other tortoise, right? They'll live as long as they can live, basically.
Yeah, and they're probably arguably the most reasonable tortoise to have. They're like the best size. Females get almost football size, and the males, which is what I have a male. He's like the size of my palm. I have kind of big palm for my size, but that's manageable. I mean, you can keep that in like a relatively medium size enclosure for life, and not really take up that much space.
Yeah, for real.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. But they still come in like, I think, droves, don't they? Like I've seen so many imports at like Tinley and whatnot. Like they still come in quite a bit. So that's the only unfortunate part with species like that.
Yeah, it's like that with a lot of turtles, unfortunately, man.
Yeah, and I just wish we had like less restrictive like native laws when it came to like box turtles. Obviously, the 3-inch rule is there for a reason. I love that, but it'd be nice if we can like breed those too, because those are awesome and they're native and they're not really tortoises.
Right.
No. There's like some swamp turtle almost.
I was actually talking to my buddy Gabe today. He's been on the show before. And I think this year I have found more box turtles than I've seen in years. Like I've seen box turtles every year, but this year, man, I saw so many. Just every herp trip, there was box turtle after box turtle everywhere. It was a good year for them.
Try and compare. It's hard for us to compare weather because I can forget something the next day. But was there more like barometric events in South Carolina than there was last year? Obviously, the whole Southeast got kind of topsy-turvy this year.
Yeah.
That's part of it, but it makes
Yeah.
you
Yeah, it was more earlier. I mean, I found them all year, all summer, spring, summer, fall. I've been finding them.
yeah.
But no, as of recent, with all the stuff with the hurricanes recently, I haven't really been out. But yeah, man. I mean, I saw them out at the heat of the day. I saw one trucking across a road when it was like nearly 100 degrees out. I was out on WMA, and this sucker was getting it off the side of a dirt road, and found one on the side of a mountain in Tennessee, just randomly.
Oh,
And
that's sweet, dude. In
yeah,
Tennessee.
it was awesome. Yeah, it was super cool. I was hiking with my sister, and we were going up and this little trail, and there's just box turtle just sitting right in the middle of it. I was like, man,
Oh, that's sweet. And that's a nice herb to get people that aren't really into herbs to like, because almost nobody can like dislike turtles.
yeah, dude, it's hard.
You
That's
would
hard.
think, right? Shit.
Yeah, your story today would say otherwise. I was like,
Today.
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah, this guy almost got ran
Yeah,
over.
I
saving
almost
a top
got
shell.
killed trying to save a turtle this morning.
People don't get it, man. It's like that Joker meme, like, you wouldn't get it, but you should.
You should, man.
You should.
You'd think you would,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because they have their own intricate memory of their home ranges. So that dude, like you saw today, trucking along. I mean, he knows where he's going. You just gotta be a good Samaritan and help when you can.
That's right. That's right.
For the most part, I live in a small city by the river here, by the Illinois River, and it's pretty developed here. It's not terrible, but it's pretty developed. We used to have the historical records show. We used to have box turtles here, and there's still like survivors that weren't crushed with all the development and whatnot. But you're hard pressed to find any near my county. Oh, so maybe give more background. I'm in central Illinois, so kind of like in that Corn Belt area. I'm not really near Chicago. It's like 2.5 hours north of me, but so I'm in with the corn and the soy and everything, and actually some sandy habitat, like some sand prairies and all that. So we get a good flux of herps, but you're kind of hard pressed to find them unless you go to like those exact habitats, and they're not a lot of parcels left.
It's so sad, man. Things that used to be so common, like back in, people have told, my area has been kind of famous for herping for a long time. And some old school guys have told me, back where I grew up, the north side of my county, diamondback rattlesnakes are, unheard of out there. But apparently, back in the 70s, 80s, a guy told me, he said, you used to be able to ride down the road on a bicycle and you could collect a whole bag of them. And I was like, well, that was half the problem, is people were doing that.
Yeah.
But they used to be everywhere. Now you're hard pressed to find them in the county at all. And it's just sad, man, between development and humans, eradicating them and collecting them. It's terrible, man.
It's tough. It makes me wish that it makes me kind of wish that I was born like a couple of decades earlier, just to see how fruitful all the animals were. But at the same time, it's like it probably would have came to the same conclusion like as we are now. Less animals just all around.
I'd probably just be more depressed, like, knowing how it was and how it is. Yeah, no, dude.
That's how I feel like some of these old timers.
You got your freaking nephew on your lap. Like, well, look, Timmy, back in the day, you could spot 5 eastern diamondbacks on one stretch of road, and now you're hard pressed to find any.
Yeah,
but that's a cool species, man. That's probably one of my favorite rattlesnakes.
Yeah, dude. They've been on the list for this year, and I haven't been able to pull one out. I really want to find one in South Carolina, but man, it can be difficult. Luckily, as far as South Carolina goes, I'm in the best spot. We have barrier islands everywhere, and
where at Jasper or like Beaufort County or
Beaufort.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, I'm right there, man. Everything's right there. I got Okeechobee Hunt Club right there. That's why I said my area has been a famous herping spot for
that is, man. All the
years.
All of them, and like, and I relate because I used to go to the herp society that we have around here, but it's kind of a lot of old geezers. Nothing wrong with that. They're cool.
Yeah.
But they used to say how you used to find this species here in Peoria. That's my town, and other kind of species, and now you can't really find them. The only caveat now, as I'm like an adult, is that I kind of have good relations with some people with our park districts out here.
Mm-hmm.
And they've allowed me to do some herp surveys on like a few of their properties.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got sites on 2 of their properties, and my goal is to go to some other properties where I know there should be some nice finds like prairie kings and bull snakes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I found the most common herp I find and flip, which is awesome, are milk snakes, eastern milk snakes.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I too am a Lamprey knot. I love finding them. I love flipping them, hiking them out. They're awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can't
man.
beat a king snake, man.
No, not at all. We showed one earlier. Our buddy Hunter found for one of our ride-ins. He got a Holbrook eye.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's the only Lamprey peltis we have. Caligaster, the prairie kings, and then eastern milk snakes, and then further south in like the lower third of the state, you get which is kind of debated, but I think they're intergrades of eastern blacks and speckles.
Okay.
So a lot of times you hear the term Shawnee King. That's kind of what it refers to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool, man.
Okay.
Well, let's get into a little technicals with herping. What's in your herp bag, man? What are some tools you take? Whether it's a weekend trip or a long trip away, because I know you do some traveling. What are some things you like to bring when you go out to the field?
Just a bit.
I can tell by your pictures you only take a little bit.
You only travel.
Dude, it's so hard because I'm such an overpacker. Like if I'm doing a weekend trip, man, like half my car is filled up, and it's such an issue. Because if I'm carpooling or if I'm like taking people in my vehicle, it's like, man, I gotta reduce what I'm carrying. Because at the time I don't use all of it, with camping gear. I love camping, but it just depends. If I'm doing something local, around my county or surrounding counties, I'll have like a medium-sized backpack. Like I'll go by like the liters, since most backpacks are in liters, like a 30 to 50. So like medium-sized to biggish backpack, and then my contents all depend too on just how I'm feeling, if I'm free or whatnot, or if I'm doing it off a whim. Like I am a big time nature photographer. I love doing that. It's like one of my favorite hobbies to do.
Dude, and I'll cut you off for 1 second. Your pictures are some of the best I've ever seen. I mean, just incredible, dude.
Oh, dude. You're making me cry, man. Stop.
I'm saying, man. I was like, how is this dude not working for Nat Geo or something?
For real, dude.
This is nuts.
And like, man, photography is an expensive hobby, dude. You guys know. So I got like a entry level mirrorless Nikon. It's a Z50, and it's funny to call like a sub $1,000 camera entry level, but here we are with the hobby, or the hobby expensive, but. I make it work, and really, I've just learned a lot from friends, especially my one Lebanese friend, Johnny. He's a great photographer too. He's on Instagram. And I've just learned tips and tricks along the way, and I've just kind of melded and made it my own to get into that, because it really helps to spread the news on how like beautiful herps are, and then it's also just nice knowing that I can take good photos like that. But sorry, I derailed a little bit. So
no, you're good, dude.
So sometimes I don't want to deal with all that though, all the camera stuff, because I want to be more in the moment when I'm in habitat. Especially because a lot of times my pack is weighing like a couple tens of pounds, like 30, 40, 50 at the heaviest, but
that's a
couple tens of pounds, and it's a lot to drag around. You get tired faster and whatnot. But besides the camera gear, we can talk about that later. Water. Doesn't matter where you are, water, whether it's a bladder or just big honking water bottles, water cans, just water. That's the most important thing. And then besides that, I do bring a temp gun, because sometimes I like to be real nerdy and like either jot down some herp notes, like in the field notes, or just type it on my phone. On like an example was a couple years ago. I went to a preserve a couple counties north of me, and it was unseasonably warm to start November here. And I was like, man, if anything's going to be out, it's going to be like some bruisers, like some bull snakes, because they will take advantage. A lot of times they'll poke their heads out of their burrows and just bask in that manner. but there's this one preserve where I know they're pretty abundant, this population. So I went there around almost midday, like 2, 3-ish, hiked around, just bebopping, as Jake would say.
Damn it.
Hopping around.
It's a good term, man. I like it. But, you know, I was starting to give up because it was like about an hour or so, and I didn't find nothing. Maybe give more context. It's like a sand prairie, sand savanna I was at. So like perfect habitat for like hog noses, blue racers, and like bull snakes, like just the trifecta of sand prairies out here. And then I flipped like a railroad tie, and then I see this honking head of a bull snake just slink back into his burrow. It's like, damn it. So, you know, in my desperation, I dig just a little bit to see if I can, you know, reach it. But, you know, that sucker must have slunk back real deep in because he was not coming out. So I was like, man, you know what? I got to see it. He was a screamer. He had like a yellow head and everything. So I was happy. I found a snake on a warm November day, which is not terribly common. Like for like the big colubrids, it's not terribly common. Nature scenes like garters and all that, yeah, they'll take advantage. They don't care. They don't mind cold temps. But I was, you know, trumping around in the savannah, and then like I just, for some reason, I had the inkling feeling to look down, and then right by my foot was a baby bull snake. I was like yeah, freshly, like, you know,
Really?
newborn basically. It was, I couldn't believe it. I was gobsmacked.
Yeah.
You know,
That's freaking awesome.
oh, it was a beauty too. And then later on, I found another one. I was like, dude, on November,
Wow.
it can't get better here in Central Illinois. It just can't.
No.
I just to touch on it really quick, because that just brought up a freaking flashback of as funny as it is, it's a little bit of an older Dave Kaufman video where he was in Illinois in the prairies looking for bull snakes. But it sounds a lot like how you just described that. He was just kind of walking around out in the prairies, and it was like, baby bull snake. Oh, baby bull snake. Oh, baby bull snake. So it's just like, that's pretty cool that they, you know, they get that right temp and that right day, and they're like, all right, this is our time to shine. We got to go out and get our bellies full, because if not, we're going to miss it.
And it makes sense. It would be like the younger snakes. I mean, I don't know if they found like younger snakes in this video, but it makes sense.
Yeah, they were all babies.
Yeah, because I mean, they're more likely to feel that temperature gradient difference than the adults. The adults are like, they're kind of set in a way. So like, well, you know, times are changing. It's cold at night and in the early morning. I'm just gonna stay in my burrow and like just, you know, brumate it out as it were.
Plus, they probably already, the adults probably already have all their reserves. The babies are still figuring it out, you know, like they felt those warm temps that I'm hungry, bitch. Like we going,
dude.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, it's nuts when you have just in situ, I guess, if events happen to you like that. It really makes you get drawn more to herping, because, you know, they're novel. Every time you go out in the field, it's a novel experience because you just don't know what's going to happen. You can plan for it, but you realistically, until you have boots on the ground, you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I got water. I got kind of camera stuff out the way. What else would I bring? And temp gun notes if you want, if you can. Yeah, that's kind of for like I said, my local jaunts, and then I will bring camera gear if I'm in the mood. For bigger, longer jaunts like extended weekends, you know, I'll bring everything. I'll bring my tent. I'll bring my hammock if I need to. Basically the same things I told you guys, but that's really, and I guess a couple change of outfits if need be.
Yeah.
You know?
When you
go
camping, do you normally go like, is that like, when you say that, is that like more trips out of state, or do you do like a lot of camping like in state or close to home, or what?
Most of them have been in state, but no, I mean, even if I'm out of state. And also when I used to have more free time, I used to do big day trips, like because I love driving. I still haven't gotten tired of driving. You know, 4-hour day trip to me is like, well, back then it wasn't really nothing. Now I start to feel it a little bit more for sure.
Yeah, you hurt a little bit more, but you still do it.
Yeah,
I still do it for the love of it. Like what was it, in September? I went, so you know, I'm pretty close-ish to Missouri. Like St. Louis is like 2.5 hours to me, and then further beyond, a little bit more gravy. But I love going to Missouri because they have some awesome habitats as well. And I was in a spot where it's real glady. It's a matrix. It's a mix of glades and woodlands. And I was just trying my luck, doing a little bit of flipping, responsibly, ethically. Put the rocks back, folks.
That's right. Put the damn rock back.
There's an outline where that sucker was laying before, all right?
And it better match it just to the very nth degree,
Yeah.
Yes.
But I wasn't really finding much. I mean, like, it was a perfect day, like overcast, low 70s. I was like, man, this is milk snake weather, but just nothing. And a lot of times when you get in your head, especially when you flip a lot, you get in your head like, man, dude, I'm flipping hundreds of rocks. I'm not finding shit. This is frustrating. And then I just had to you always have to reel back. You have to recoil yourself and say, hey, dude, I'm in some beautiful country. I'm having a good time. I'm out in nature. Not too many people get to do this or even know what it's like to experience just, resetting your soul, being out in nature. And so I didn't get too frustrated that day. I still found some herps. And then, along the tree lines, I saw plenty of rough green snakes, which are an awesome find for me because they're not really near me at all.
I'm with you on those, man. I finally knocked that one off the list this year for a live one, and I'm stoked.
Sweet, dude. They're awesome. They're beautiful snakes. They're another one that, there's not really any rhyme or reason for people to hate because, they're so dainty and delicate. They can't, even if they bite you, I've never had anyone.
How could you hate on a vibrantly neon bright green and yellow snake, dude, with blue hints and tints all over it? Like, freaking awesome.
Bugs, and they eat crickets and grasshoppers and things.
Yeah, insectivorous. Like, what the heck?
And that's what I think was the case that day because I remember it wasn't really humid. It was pretty dry, and like the only real bug life I saw was like grasshoppers
and stuff.
It kind of makes sense. Like they were on the prowl too, going after their prey.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad I was with you for your lifers guy. That was so cool, man.
I'll never forget that.
I hopped out the car just screaming.
I'll never forget that, dude.
Beautiful bros for life. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I would love to come down your guys' way. The Southeast is something I really haven't touched on at all. I have made it to the deep South one brief time with a friend, with my birder friend M. We went to Mississippi last year in spring when we had our spring break, and it was nice. It was a little bit colder than I would have wanted, but we made the most of it because I had never been to the deep South. And like, funny enough, M brought up like, bro, let's tally how many Confederate flags we find.
Oh shit! Should make a drinking game out of it. Fucking
a couple brown brothers down south. What can go wrong, right? But we didn't find that many just because we don't go near people are. Yeah. But it was awesome, and like I think the best highlight of that trip was we got our lifer Gulf Coast box turtles.
Nice.
Oh, I mean, just one. It was a big honking male. I mean, I had never seen a box turtle that big. I mean, legit bigger than a football, just enormous.
Wow.
Damn.
Enormous.
Holy.
That's sick.
Jeez, man. Yeah, dude. If you ever want to come down here, you just let us know. You can come to me, hurt my area, then we'll rock it down the sky and
we'll do a whole Florida gamut.
For sure. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Keep derailing. So in my bag, I think we got most of it. Unless you guys had any questions referring what else I would probably carry. I also carry obviously like insect repellent. Like I use Picardin because I hear that's what people use when they go in the tropics. And for some reason in my mind, I feel like that means it's like harder, but not like harder. Just like maybe it's something different. Something different. They'll taste and be like, oh, I don't want to. I don't want to take this guy's blood.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know like laws can be different in different areas. So I don't know if you avoid it, but do you ever carry any type of hook or anything with you?
Yeah. So for the most part, there's like no venomous around me at all. Only down south and then out of state like Missouri. I'll bring hooks, and I do try to keep up with the laws because that is important. I've been screwed over once, and I was like, well, I was to blame. It was my fault. But yeah, I'll bring a hook, and then depending on where I'm at, if I can carry it or not, I'll do so. Like obviously in Illinois, down south, we have the Shawnee National Forest, and that's a well-respected, well-protected forest is managed well-ish. And then Snake Road, infamous Snake Road, guys. And then you don't bring any paraphernalia, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, I still have it in the car, but it's not for that place.
Yeah, it's in the car, but it stays in the car and it stays deep.
It's under covers of like blankets and whatnot. So like, don't even trip, you know?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
Yeah.
definitely good. And that's, you know,
Good to
something
know.
everybody should keep up with. Know your your local laws. You know, you're pretty much safe to assume any national forest or WMA, you know,
Yes.
stay away from, don't have bags on you. It's one thing if they're in the car hidden somewhere, you know, a hook or something, but don't have them out, don't have them accessible. You know, it's a real good way to get a big ticket.
Yeah. Like I'll share like a quick story. So a couple of years ago in Missouri, I used to frequent this one preserve, which was, you know, quite glady as well. It's relatively well known, so it doesn't matter. But I never saw the new signage, but apparently it is a place that gets, I will admit, wrecked by herpers, sadly. Like it just, rocks thrown to hell, and it just sucks to see what's happening. And I guess MDC stepped in and they posted new signage which says, don't touch any rocks, like don't flip anything at all. And I remember a buddy of me went in fall a couple years ago, and I didn't see the signage at all. We went because I usually go off trail almost immediately.
Yeah.
I'm not going on the trail. And then we were just, you know, flipping, just flipping as we could. And, you know, we found some nice critters like, you know, some ringnecks. And I found this huge coal skink, which is not common for Illinois as well. I mean, it was a massive male, I think, a big, thick tail and whatnot. And I wanted to photograph it. So I just I didn't want to crush it. So I just quickly put it in my glove. And then some CO officers just pulled up. Hey guys, what you doing? He said, you know, you're not supposed to flip rocks, right? It's like, what do you mean?
Nope.
No, it's fine. We're doing it ethically, as you can see. We're not doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, and then I just had my spiel with them, but it wasn't terrible. It just, you know, I learned my lesson. Maybe look before I start hiking.
They didn't give you a ticket or anything?
Oh, they did.
Oh no, man.
Yeah.
They were lames. They they weren't really the best of folks, but
golly.
yeah, it was a whole kerfuffle. So, you know, I let bygones be bygones. I've never been back to that preserve since.
Yeah, no, man. I understand like not having hooks and you know, and bags and stuff, you know, obviously that can be used for poaching. That makes sense. But
Yeah.
even flipping rocks, man, that's.
But, you know, I had the skink. I had the skink in the glove, and technically it was, you know, under my possession. So,
Yeah.
you know, all these technicalities, whether good or bad, you know, you got to consider it. You have to take into consideration.
Yeah, and some of those tickets can be hefty.
They can.
That sucks, man.
Be aware.
No, but it didn't leave that bad of a taste. I still go to Missouri because I love it so much. It's a great state.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I need to hit that Midwest area, man.
Dude, slide, especially Southern Illinois. Just whenever this is my invite to you guys. Hit up the Shawnee. I know plenty of folks. In particular, there's one older professor. He's pretty well known as well because his property. He lives adjacent to the Shawnee, and his property. He's a big time naturalist and a herper, so his property is just loaded with tin. Loaded.
Nice.
He's like, we will fill the whole place with tin.
Yeah, this is all tin. That's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's you know, you've herped abroad a little bit, and you know, and specifically you shared an album with me from, is it Osaka? Is that how it's pronounced?
Dude, so yeah, when you look at that freaking state's name, it looks like it's pronounced completely different than how it's spelled. So it's more of a wa, so it's Oaxaca.
Oaxaca. Okay. Okay. I like it.
Even though it starts with an O, but yeah, Oaxaca. It's a southern state. It's a southern Mexican state.
Okay.
Nice.
So how do you, I definitely want to touch on that, you know, because we're already an hour 13 into this and I want to spend some time going through some of these pictures. Do you want me to just scroll through pictures and you can kind of talk about it, or do you want to give us a little background on it? And
I'll get some background. You can maybe scroll, maybe try to find some, I tried to do it orderly, but it probably didn't. So maybe look for some habitat shots so we can kind of get the gist of what
I'm pretty sure it starts with habitat. So we will
cool.
Screen here.
Context for the listeners. So yeah, it's a southern Mexican state. It's very biodiverse. It's one of the top 3 most biodiverse states in Mexico. You know, along with Veracruz and Chiapas. And you know, this was me researching because I really wanted to go somewhere out of the states, and for like, you know, I guess tourists or, you know, U.S. tourists. It's relatively safe. It's a relatively
Okay.
state to visit. You know, there's not much of drama llama in that state. And, you know, it's helpful that, you know, I kind of look like them.
I was say you're a little bit more pigmented than us. We're gonna go down there, gonna be like, give us all your pesos, get in the back of this van. We're taking you to the freaking cartel,
Oh
buddy.
my God.
Dude, that was my first time experiencing like foreign currency. And, you know, even though times have changed and like everything across the world is getting more expensive, your dollar still goes far in Mexico. Like pesos are awesome. Like the conversion is like, I think back then, like a buck equals 20 pesos. I was like, dude, I'm rich.
Right? We're fucking on, boys.
I'm royalty here. But no, it was awesome experiencing that and like how it took me far with not a lot of money. I didn't budget well for that trip, but I lost track. Where was that? What was I talking about? Oh,
Talking
well,
about
yes.
the landscape and stuff.
Yeah, so it's very biodiverse, you know, and also for herpetofauna also is up there as well. Like I think over 500, 600 species. I can double
Wow.
fact check on INAT, but yeah, it's insane how much shit lives there. And you know, I've gone there 2 times now, and I've absolutely barely scratched the surface of my species list. Because once you hit tropical places, tropical states, countries, herping is completely different. The number ratio, like the quantity, just for the most part drops off. Like you're not going to be experiencing the same things you would like in your guys' neck of the wood, or like up here in the Midwest, or even places like Kansas where, you know, snakes are really dense there. But I researched the state. I made a few connections beforehand, like months in advance beforehand, with people that live in the state and that, you know, seem cool. It's like, hey, you know, I just, hey, I'm visiting Oaxaca, and you know, I told them of some of the places I was looking at to go herping. It's like, are these good places to find, you know, just critters of all sorts? Because, you know, my main objective was herps, but when you're in a new place, you can't help but just want to everything,
Yeah.
the flora, the fauna. I mean, what you're seeing now is just like so it's also it's on the Pacific side, so it has a immense long coastline on the Pacific Ocean. And so what we're seeing now is some of that kind of coastal xeric habitat, where there's plenty of cacti and you know, hardy shrub like vegetation. It was intense. I remember the UV radiation, dude. Oh my God. Like I'm a hard time hiker. I would preface, I think, but even that hike I did that day when I took those photos, that kind of whooped my butt. In more ways than one. I'll probably tell you guys afterwards. But yeah, it was just intense. So mainly, you know, you're seeing Scoloporus and whiptails, like big whiptails, out there in that landscape because they can tolerate the heat for a little bit, and then they would retreat in the shrubbery. Also, plenty of birds. I'm not a big birder. My friend Emiliano is, but obviously I brought my binos and I took advantage of it. And kind of to piggyback off, now I have a huge telephoto lens, like, you know, 150 to 600. So now I became a bit of a birder, and it makes sense living up here as it's starting to get colder and the herps are retreating down and being dormant. So it's like, I'll just trade for different kinds of herps, you know.
That picture right there is so awesome.
Hey, thanks, man. I kind of copied from one friend. So this was out when we were on an evening jaunt in the national park with some of the contacts I made, some friends. That Daniel, Yvonne, and then Rodrigo were like my main buddies that trip. This was the first trip, and then yeah, beat a lizard. I mean, in like my first day there.
Jeez, man.
Jesus, man.
What an animal.
A little skinny, but it's because and this is another thing that is trial and error when you're like researching, you know, international or just new places to go to. You know, I tried to look at all the climactic data to see when was the best possible time to get here, and I completely fucked that up.
Dang.
Not in a terrible way, but I learned. I completely fucked up. I landed there like in late May, early June, and I thought I was out of the dry season because that's what they have. They have dry and wet seasons there. But no, I was still on the tail end of the dry season. Like Rodrigo was telling me, like, no, buddy, you're still like 1 or 2 months out from like the vegetation getting green. Like, as we'll see, it's still kind of bare.
Yeah.
some of the photos. But I mean, the herps will still come out and take advantage. And so that thing came out. That was an awesome. They're strong lizards too. Like even that weak looking specimen, because it's kind of skinny for a beaded, but it was strong.
Yeah, they're strong lizards.
How long would you say that thing was?
Definitely bigger than a Gila, than like an adult Gila.
Okay. Oh wow!
So like what? A little more than 2.5, almost 3
I would
feet.
say almost 2.5 foot then or so. Yeah, it looks that big in that picture. So
yeah, I mean, it's almost as girthy as that damn limb.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks
like
a big boy.
Is incredible, man.
Yeah. And then this is a Porthidium dunny. This is a Dunn's hognose viper. Tiny dude, absolutely tiny. So it still wasn't a full grown specimen, but it was basically the size of like a newborn copperhead.
Jeez,
oh damn,
man. That is.
Yeah, it's just tiny.
It has like remnants of a rock rattlesnake almost.
It looks like a rock rattlesnake and a pygmy almost, and a damn eyelash viper or something.
Maybe even hints of timber.
Yeah,
I see timber rattlesnake for sure.
Yeah, my buddy.
So that was a full grown specimen.
No. This
okay.
Pretty fresh, but
okay.
Yeah, they're not big snakes anyway. They get about copperhead size too, like 2.5 feet.
Nice.
So to anybody listening to this and not tuning into the live or watching on YouTube, you absolutely should to see some of these pictures.
These pictures are top notch, man.
And so, Venus Porthidium, they're hognose vipers. So in some of the photos, it's hard to show, but yeah, it has an upturned snout, and
yeah, you can see it right there
a little bit, but they're cool. And so the males, when they mature, they tend to be like shades of orange or reds and like really vibrant, and then the females tend to be more drab. So they do have some sexual dichromatism. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, my buddy told me how it reminded him a little bit of a timber. I was like, yeah, I could kind of see that.
I see that, for sure.
If I saw that here, it's a baby game break.
Oh, and then right, and then Rodrigo has eyes for days, but obviously he's a local. Like he grew up there, so he's trained on this shit. And like it was about like the sun was gone by this point, but he looked down at the buttress of a small tree. He's like, Porthidium. Like, no fucking way, bro. We were all just looking on this hillside for snakes or anything. He's like, Porthidium. I was like, dude, I walked right by it. What are you talking about? There's no snake there. And then we flashed our torch, like, no shit.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's why it helps to have that local eye sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Always. And then I don't know what species of oh crap, I'm losing the name. A lyre snake. There's a lyre snake. Yeah, it's a lyre snake. I don't know what species.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like one of our first nights too. Because there's this one specific trail in the national park where you just go at night and you're bound to see herps. Like, regardless, you're bound to see them crossing. It's a good spot.
That thing looks beautiful, man.
It was beautiful. Again, young as well. Probably a little bit bigger than like a 6-month-old corn snake.
Okay.
Oh wow! So it was like really small.
Yeah, it was really small. And then when I left, it was like a couple of weeks when I left from there. My friend Daniel showed me photos of like, I didn't know they could get this big, but he showed me one that was legit boa size. It was like 6.5 foot long.
Yeah, they're skinny but very long snakes.
No, dude, but even when they get real mature, they do thicken
beef up a little bit.
Thicken up a little bit. Like I was gobsmacked. Like I didn't know they get that big, because I don't know how big the ones out in Arizona get. I don't think they get that big.
That's crazy, man.
That's freaking cool though.
Oh, it was pretty. And then this was another day when we went. So I'm sorry, guys. I tried to brush up on like the biogeographic.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
But so there's tons of things going on in the state. Like I said, you got coastal habitat, xeric habitat. You got rainforest, but it's like dry rainforest, so it just depends on what season you're in. And then there's Oaxaca City, so more in the central part of the state. It gets more dry, and you get into higher elevation. It's more mountainous and drier, more like a desert or a little bit of Mediterranean climate. And then you also have influences from different mountain ranges down south. Like I think it's I think it's the opposite dental, southern opposite dental. Either way, various mountain ranges occur here, and so this is in one of them. And so our main goal here was another specific viper species, Orthriacus. So like they're like horn vipers. They're really cool looking. So that was our main target that day. But they got these Galapagos. I think this one was Formosus, and then they have another one. But they're all green and vibrant like that.
Are those emerald swifts, or is that different?
No, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I think the species name is Formosus, but yeah, I think you can call it emerald swift. There's actually a lot of green fence lizards down south. Once you go down to like Mexico and Guatemala, a lot of them are green, and I guess they use DNA to separate the species, but they all look the same. I'm not gonna bullshit you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, that is incredible.
Oh, gorgeous, dude. Unreal.
Yeah. I love this picture.
That's fucking awesome.
So yeah, that's in the same mountain range, and so I was still with my same buddies, and we visited some locals that live in that mountain, and they had a snake. I guess Daniel contacted them a couple of days ago to see if they seen any snakes and to just hold on to them, because Daniel and his brother Ivan, they're kind of like biologists, so they're kind of into documenting this sort of thing. And so the homeowner, he held on to this. This is another live snake. I think it's a different species, but yeah, the colors on it were unreal.
That just looks so awesome.
Lady gray, and it was small too. It was a little bit bigger than the first one we saw, but yeah, it was awesome looking. Just the red embers of the saddles.
I say the stuff in Mexico just has the coolest colors, man. They know how to mix red with like greens and yellows to just make it pop.
Yeah, they make it exotic for a reason down there. They look awesome, all the herps. But
this picture in particular is just out of this world, dude. I mean, that is incredible.
Look at the eye on that thing.
Yes.
Yeah, they're awesome. But yeah, it's funny with like Ivan and his brother. They do keep up with the locals to just see, because they try to educate the locals there. Like, hey, if you see a snake, for the most part, don't kill it. Just let it cross your property. It's not going to do nothing.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, they don't really kill. So it's good that they have a little bit of outreach out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this is just nice because, like, even when you're out of the States, flipping is still a thing.
Yeah, man, I love it.
So in the white, that's Rodrigo, and then in the background, that's Daniel, and then helping flipping with Rodrigo is Ivan. So they're my buddies. I still hit them up here and there. Ivan and Danielle, they moved to a different state. They live in Veracruz, so that might be the next state. Veracruz is a little bit more iffy in terms of political nonsense.
Cartel warfare.
Context should be safe.
Yeah. No, man, it's always good to keep up with contacts like that, man. And keep your friends like that close, man.
Well, it's like when people are in college and they have that gap year or they travel abroad, you make friends for life.
Yeah, for sure, man. The habitat is so different in different areas out here, man. It's nuts. The original picture I showed, I pulled it up, before the show, and me and Sky were talking. He looked at it and he goes, "Is that Africa?" I was like, "Nope, that's Mexico." And then we see habitat like this. It's crazy.
And so, like with those coastal habitats you showed first, what's wild, dude, is that I would say it's kind of similar or akin to like Florida or some places in the Southeast where just a little bit of elevation or depression, and then it's a brand new habitat, like just brand spanking new. That's like, whoa, how did it just change?
Yep.
But yeah, that mountain range was awesome. I would have loved. I could spend weeks on, and I only had a couple days my first trip out there, but just gorgeous.
That is so
and also you can find Abronia. So Abronia live in the state.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And locals see them too. So it would have been awesome to see a tree dragon, but no.
Damn, dude. Abronia would be insane.
Yeah, and then that's just me back to the coast, back to a little town, Ventanilla, and then that rock formation has a specific name. I don't know it, but
that's beautiful. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, and that's the reason why I was near, because the locals are in a way champions for mangroves, because in that part of the coast there's like decent mangrove systems there that support healthy populations of American crocs and everything associated with it. And then these are Nicaraguan sliders, dude. These sliders are like the size of sea turtles. They were
What?
they're huge. Oh, not exaggerate, but they're
Oh, yeah.
big. They're big. Like take your biggest cooter you've seen, and then just widen it a little bit more, and just overall make it a bit bigger, and then that's what you have. I mean, they were huge.
And then when I first looked at this, I didn't notice the iguana in the background right there.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, green iguanas are pretty common there too.
That's awesome, man.
They were cool. Yeah, we took so they have tours for people to go see the crocs and everything, and so motorless canoes, and we're just going through the mangroves. And then I remember our one guide, he lifted a turtle from the oar, so we could see like its full size, and I'm like, my God,
Jeez,
monster.
Those are they look so smooth, like just very, very.
They look healthy. They look big and healthy.
Yeah, they look huge and gorgeous.
I like turtles.
And but yeah, the main reason was to see the crocs. I think I have some slides later.
Yeah, there's a croc picture somewhere down here.
But habitat's just so sick, man. It looks like you've been in so many different countries.
Right? That's the beauty of that state. They're so diverse.
I want to go to Mexico so bad.
Yeah, dude.
Then this was near a famous quote unquote, I guess, hippie town where a lot of foreigners and expat live or like visit. It was called what was it called? I'll remind myself later about it, but it's a local place. Oh, Mazunte. That's one people should look into. That's a great place. Real friendly people. I mean, from all around the world. And so this was like the Comet Trail. I just wanted to go see what it was about. And yeah, it takes you to like the cliff line, and you just see the Pacific around Oaxaca is mean. It is not a nice section of ocean. It's very mean.
Big old waves, deep ass freaking drop offs.
Yeah, most of it is not calm at all to swim in. But the state also has many bays, so those bays are a bit more calm. They have calmer waters, and a lot of towns have shut up shop to invite just make negotiations and have it become more of a touristy area.
Yeah,
this is just more of a nature trail.
Yeah.
Okay, and then everything is so out of context, so it's like you're just flooding my mind with memories, man.
Yeah.
I want to go back so bad.
Right? Let me go with you.
Yeah, let us know when you do, man, because I'm down.
Very reasonable, my guy.
Mexico looks awesome.
Very inexpensive for sure when you do it right. So this is back more in the highlands. This is closer to Oaxaca City, where I was saying it's more dry, but I mean there are, I guess we would say, valleys and hills where it's quite vegetated. It's similar, I guess, to maybe Chaparral in California and stuff.
Yeah.
Still dry, but obviously plenty of trees and plants.
That's beautiful.
I just, for the most part, I didn't have enough time in a lot of these habitats. So
yeah, man.
Most months there.
Yeah, it's a bitch to overcome. But I mainly found just scalopers, just fence lizards out there, and whiptails. I was more there just to see the city and this one archaeological place. But yeah, it was awesome. And I was walking along this one dirt road to see if I could spook anything up. Just some whiptails.
Oh, man.
And this is like the last couple of days of my first trip there. So I headed out with the boys again, and then some other friends, and we went on the same trail. And yeah, we found little boa. My first boa in the wild. It was a surreal moment, dude.
I can only imagine, dude.
A wild boa.
That's crazy.
That's freaking awesome. So that's a Mexican boa, or is that considered Colombian boa? Or
it's a Mexican, so it wouldn't be imperator, which I thought it was, but no. Apparently, it's a boa sigma. So I guess they call it like the West Coast, the Mexican West Coast boa. It basically looks like an imperator, but yeah, it was awesome and like docile, like pet friendly, right off the rip.
That's so sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it didn't strike at nobody. It was awesome to see a boa in the wild. I was shaking when I was holding it. I was like,
I can't imagine, dude.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that, man. That's incredible.
And then these are like the black spiny tails. They have those out there too. They have the greens, the black spiny tails, and then an endemic spiny tail that I didn't see, but this is just the common one. This was one that was just sleeping out on a branch. I just wanted to see it. It has pretty colorations on the head when you
Yeah,
really zoom into it. But
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
just cool spiny tail. Cool.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
that's
bitch.
And this picture is
Well,
fantastic, dude. Wow.
so these are obviously a gem down south, and like maybe you guys know what these are. A Mexican burrowing python, so Luxocemus B color, beautiful.
Wow.
Doesn't even look real.
No, I mean it has iridescence that even a mud snake would turn its head to.
Yeah.
It was unreal look and super smooth. I would
Looks like a sunbeam almost.
Yeah, and so they're actually closely related. Sunbeams and this guy and then pythons are all closely related to each other. And so yeah, this is our only python in the Americas. And yeah, what a beauty. They get actually big too. All the ones we found were pretty small, but they get like almost ball python size.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, most people don't know they get kind of chunky, but they're real calm, real secretive. All they want to do is kind of ball up, just kind of like a ball python when you find them. They're so docile and cool looking. They also remind me kind of like a big worm snake.
Yeah, that's honestly what I thought of first. Was like, that's the biggest worm snake I've ever seen.
That's now that you say that, I have the weirdest image in my head of just a worm snake on steroids. Like, I made it.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of unsettling. But yeah, that
real
tiny fine scales, super smooth. It was a super smooth feeling snake.
It looks so smooth and iridescent. It's so wild.
I actually seen a few at Tinley a couple weekends ago.
How much do those go for?
So if they're captive bred, because some people, there were imports. However, like they arrived here is, I don't know, anybody's guess. But if you get a captive bred one, they range for like 400 to 800.
Nice.
That's
incredible. Yeah. How'd the imports get it?
Those are a lot cheaper, but I haven't seen those in a while.
That's funny.
Talk about this. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
another gem. And one I didn't know at all, because there's so many species. I didn't have enough time to like research or look at all the species. I mean, you're just not going to retain that many animals in your head, that many species, right? So this is a species of cat-eyed snake, just like what we got in the southern tip of Texas, but different species. This is a Uribe's cat-eyed snake. Talk about flame.
Yeah, that thing is on fire.
Looks like a fire.
And that's the normal coloration. I mean, that's how they almost all look.
That's one of the most beautiful snakes I've ever seen. Dude.
Oh,
I like the way you have it up against the black background. It literally looks like just a row of flames.
Yeah, and it's
so sick.
I actually like that metaphor. Yeah, it's really true. It's a beautiful looking snake. And like, I was with the boys and they're like, "Oh, it's another Uribe." Like, not like in that sense. Like, oh,
what?
But they see them so much. They're like, it's a snake, but we see them all the time. It's like,
it's like a corn snake for us.
I was literally about to say, I was like, people will come here and freak out over a corn snake, Jake, and me and you would be like, "What are you talking about?" But in reality, a corn snake is damn near the same color variation as that in pattern,
Oh, but it's so rich. It was so rich. The colors.
That looks insane. But
like even the ventral side is all salmon pink. Just oh.
Yes.
Those were arguably my favorite because I didn't expect them. I didn't know what I was looking at.
And now they have the black and white version. Oh my God.
Dude, so this was amazing. And I still need to do some legit scientific backing on this because to my knowledge and to others, this is the first documented case of aneurysm in this species.
Really?
It's the same Uribe's cat-eye snake, but this is the first. I looked in the literature. I asked. Yeah, I ran. So this is a different night. I went to the national park by myself, and I was walking.
You found this by yourself?
I found it by myself. It was about to cross. It was off the side of the trail. I was like, you know what? That looks kind of different. Let me pick it up.
That's different.
My mind was shattered. That was easily my favorite night out herping in Oaxaca because, every day, every night was novel in and of itself. But this trumped it all because nobody else. Like I talked with Rodrigo and them. Like, you son of a bitch! I can't believe a goddamn American found never found.
That's incredible.
That is absolutely unreal, bro.
insane. And like
And
nobody,
it's such a good example of the morph too. Like fuck.
yeah,
I'm
just
literally just sitting here staring at the pictures like shit.
and it shows you the zigzag, pattern. I mean, they're beautiful looking snakes. I'm like, oh, I wish they were in a hobby, but at the same time, I enjoyed it for where it was at.
Yeah, that's there's something to be, obviously stuff, in captivity is cool, but man, something like this, it's like I don't want this might be one of those species I'm like, I don't want anybody's getting their grubby meat hands all over
It might
something
taint
like this, dude. Like,
outlook on the whole animal. It might taint it for sure.
yeah, dude, like that is just incredible. I would so much rather see that in the wild there than on a table in a deli cup at a show.
Oh, 100%. Let's make it. Let's see these guys. I can't promise exactly that one, but
no, dude, I don't care. Like, I'm with it. Let's go. Like, I'm
The
sold.
red version's sick.
Yeah, I'll take the red one. That is insane, man.
Yeah, it was insane. Just and, I kind of wish I had a entourage, not to like be on my high horse, but it's like, dude, nobody else has found that morph. Nobody.
Honestly, though, that's something obviously, it would have been cool to have somebody else experience that with you, but that's something that you can hold on to forever, dude. I mean, that is such an incredible find, and that's.
I mean, nobody can tell me otherwise. I mean, I don't like putting myself on a high horse, but I found it. Nobody else has ever found it, and now I just need to back it up. I need to put this in like the herp journal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to know about this. Like, know that it exists.
Yeah.
Because like you gotta, if there's one, there's got to be more. You know what I mean? Like
all the time in herps. I don't got to tell you guys.
Yeah, dude. That's and I bet you it's just like in wherever that exact area was that you found it. I bet you there's just a very tiny pocket of them.
Yeah, and so context to like the size of these critters. So these guys, they're kind of big. They get about maybe almost 3 feet, so they get kind of big and long. And this guy was an adult as well, so it's like he survived everything. But at the same time, it makes sense because they're nocturnal. So like most things aren't seeing color at night, so it doesn't matter what you are at night. But still, to be like that, if he was caught out in the daytime, that's pretty stark contrast. But yeah, he made it. So I wish him long, and I hope he, spreads those genes around.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that is epic. We need to get to Mexico, dude.
I need a print of that, dude. Like, golly.
No kidding. Yeah, some prints of your photography is definitely.
Yeah, someday we'll see. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, man.
Talk about this little guy.
So at first, so they were pretty common during the trip. I thought they were like a different species of like house gecko, like Mediterranean. And then Rodrigo was like, no, these are native ones. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know, but yeah, they're I don't know the scientific name, but yeah, they're native species of gecko, and they're pretty cool. They get decent size, maybe almost bigger than the Mediterranean geckos you guys got. Way bigger. They were cool, and they got those cool tubercles on their skin and whatnot.
Yeah, they almost resemble like tokays, just in a.
That's what I was.
A pocket version.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Not quite as beefy of a head, but yeah, that's beautiful, man.
I love how it does kind of blend in with the background really good, though.
So perfectly with the little dots on it
and everything.
Yeah,
and they love living in like the nooks and crannies of trees. So they'll find the smallest little cavern in a tree, and they'll roost in there. So definitely arboreal, just like any other gecko.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I forget the species tally mark, but I think it was around 30-ish of herps. So it was a decent chunk, but like I'm saying, I think there's 400 or 500 species.
Didn't even make a dent in the
no, not at all.
The potential.
And then that's just a baby spiny tail. It was very cute.
He's adorable.
Little freaking. It's so funny, dude. We could get those in South Florida.
Shut up.
Little piccanata running around everywhere.
Also, you guys do get both of them, the greens and the spinies?
We get the spinies for sure. I don't know if we get we have the greens and the spinies. Yeah, I didn't know if you were talking about a green spiny tail, but yeah, we get regular green iguanas and the spiny tails.
Is that Coleonyx?
Loud and proud.
Wow,
insane,
dude.
bro.
Oh my god.
That is insane.
Wow.
Fuck a
just like-
morph. Wild type for life, baby.
That's
Wild
right.
type of life. It's just like how how young leopard geckos go through that change and they look so vastly different. The
Yeah.
nice thing about these guys is that they don't really change that much. Maybe dull a little bit, but they look unreal as adults. This one was like a young one though, but it was so vibrant. It was amazing looking.
It looks plastic.
Incredible. Is he giving you
That
a little? Is he giving
sick.
you a little defense posture there?
Yeah, he was doing the tail wag and everything.
That is so sick, bro.
He was ready. He was ready to mess you up, boy.
And so they're pretty much they're a big species of Coleonyx. Like at this one at this size, it was young and it was bigger than any of the ones we have in the States. Like legit almost, well no, not even almost, like yeah, legit approaching leopard gecko size.
Dude, you've got me so hype right now. Like,
I don't even want to live in
my
America.
god.
And
I
these,
just wanna-
I mean, I don't want to roast myself too much, but last time I'm kicking myself because this past trip I went in July with Emiliano, my birder friend, and so it was more of a naturalist trip this time. Herping wasn't the main focal point, but we went back to some spots to see these guys, and dude, we found like 9 in one night.
Damn.
Shit.
And I had to take a single photo of one. I'm kicking myself to this day because they're so beautiful. I want to have some photo memorabilia.
Do they have some good variation, or do they all look pretty similar?
Yeah, they definitely have some variation, just kind of like leopard geckos, kind of like our thumbprint. They're all different. They're all different.
Just like little minor shit, but there is some variation and stuff. That's cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
And I think I have one of like the dorsal. Yeah. That
Oh
that's
man.
sick.
That's so cool.
That is sick.
You're right. They have that like baby leopard gecko look before they go through the change.
That shit looks like a fucking scarlet king snake, bro.
Especially at the tail. Yeah. But no,
Yes.
they're a total vibe. They're cute too. They're cute.
Adorable.
And
Little
then
baby green.
iguana. It was nice because I don't really get to see babies that often where I see them at.
I love the green gloves on the green iguana.
Right?
It's a nice touch. I was like, might as well.
That's awesome, man. What a little beaut.
Yeah, they are cute at that size. Too bad they get bigger.
Yeah.
And we found 3 of them. I never spotted any of my own, but we found 3 of those burrowing pythons.
Damn.
This one was the biggest, but still small, like a juvie.
Yeah.
But man, they're cool snakes, man.
Yeah, that's
They
incredible.
look super. Oh,
Ooh.
damn.
So that's a snail sucker snake. So
Oh.
they like snails, and yeah, they were cool snakes. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 of them that first trip. They're neat. Not much to say about them, but they're neat, kind of your dangly arboreal colubrid.
They look cool. They look like a cat-eyed snake and a California king snake.
I was
bro.
about to say, yeah,
Yeah, they're awesome.
that's beautiful.
How
man.
long do those get?
Oh, I haven't researched that at all. I think they still stay small, like maybe 2-ish feet or something.
2 or so, 2-3 foot. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think you get terribly big eating on snails and slugs.
Right. Yeah. Just long and slender.
Okay, this I shared. Why is there a toad in here? I think there's a toad. Oh no! I see the snake. Wow, see, it fooled me.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. I was like, a snake's right there.
Yeah, this is another cat-eyed snake. It's I think they call it, the western or just banded cat-eyed snake.
Yeah,
And so like yeah, as you can see, really does blend in on the forest floor there.
very
So,
well.
So good.
Yeah, it's like there's good species diversities of cat-eyed snakes in Mexico, and especially.
Yeah. That's incredible.
That's
oh my God, dude.
Yeah, this was one night with the boys. We were hiking, and then they called me in. They said they spotted an Uribe eating a toad. I was like, yes, predation event. Let's see.
Yes.
Right.
And so yeah, it was eating a marble toad, and like yeah, that's their main thing. They're big amphibian eaters.
Damn, that's so sick, dude.
That's so pretty, man.
Look at how fiery red that thing is.
Yeah, and then as his freaking mouth agape like that, you can see the interstitial skin in the black collar it has.
Yeah.
So,
Was the toads making a lot of noise at all, or?
well, thankfully it was down in it head first, so
Okay.
it wasn't too chatty. Thankfully, because I know they can get quite chatty when they get eaten. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's circle of life, but it still kind of hurts your heart a little bit.
It's
It
so
is.
sad.
The noises are really cute, but it's like it's a sad
Yeah.
manner because you're getting eaten, bud.
Yeah. You know he's just yelling help as you watch him.
Oh man.
So this was another one. So
God.
this one I'm proud of too because I spotted this one going down a tree limb. I was like, boa! Like, everybody went past. One thing I do when I'm in groups, I don't like leading so much. I will. I don't mind it, but I feel like I get rushed if I'm leading because I'm leading. So you have to pace, and most people's paces are faster than mine. But
no, dude, I'm slow.
yeah, I'm naturally slow myself, you know. And so a lot of times I'll be in the back of the group when we're herping just to see if anybody missed something, which a lot of times they do. It happens. And yeah, I spotted this guy at the back of the pack, and I was like, boa, and we got our photos. This is all in situ. I haven't touched it at all. I think we did
Sick.
eventually, but yeah, it was cool. So
That thing looks a little bit bigger. Was that a couple feet?
no, it's just
I'm still a baby.
it's the perception.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were both the same size. That one might have been.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just young boas.
I love boa constrictors, man. My God.
I personally wouldn't keep them at all, but I think they're
Yeah.
my favorite snakes to see in the wild.
Yeah.
Just because they get so big and impressive.
What is this little guy?
Oh, so that's like a big ant.
Thing's a freaking tank.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is a goddamn bullet ant. But what's cool about this is that they only really emerge when there's heavy rains. And so the last couple of days of my trip, I actually experienced a Category 2 hurricane. I forgot the name, but thankfully it wasn't terribly destructive to people. But what it did help out was in spurring the wet season, you know, because after the hurricane, you know, everything in her mom was out, you know, either getting flooded out or just, you know, making it to higher ground. But these guys, they'll come out whether it rains or whatever barometric event, and the locals eat them. They'll dry them out and then they'll eat them because I actually did try them. They're pretty tasty.
I've heard that I think it's in a different country though, but there's an ant that like tastes really sweet or some shit. Is that something similar?
No, so these guys tasted really nutty. So like they
nutty, okay.
Used as like dressing on salads or beans. And
no shit.
Yeah, not a terrible flavor at all.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this is what I'm talking about a little bit. Like this is right after the hurricane. So it just made all these I guess flooded segue streams and just, you know, kind of made its own way. Yeah. Water will go where it wants, you know.
Yeah, water don't give a shit.
Sure.
No.
But that's a black rat snake.
So this is one of the gifts from the hurricane, I guess. You know, behind me is that little pool that is a temporary pool that just formed because I was there a day ago and it was completely dry. And then once the hurricane passed by, all the rain just filled up the pool. And you know, I found this indigo right near the edge of that pool.
Jeez.
I do feel bad because when I was right on top of it, I saw that it was eating a toad and then it spat it out. I was like, oh shit.
So that's a Mexican indigo?
Yeah. So this would be rubidus, you know, like the ones that are crazy red or black and white face like this one is.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they got white like that. That's why I didn't know what it was at first. Obviously, I made the rat snake joke, but I had no idea what that was. But
also you can kind of tell when a snake is skinny, and then this gal, she was kind of skinny. I think because, you know, the rain spurred her to come out because, you know, during the dry season they'll brumate as well.
Right.
So, you know, I was like, damn, hopefully I do hope she got way more because she was a little malnourished, but still gorgeous animal. And to see my first
that thing looks insane.
Go, dude. I mean, unreal.
That is, dude, I think I would have pissed on my leg.
That looks freaking insane, bro.
Oh, they're unreal. I love dry marking. They're my favorite. I'm a big colibri guy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
They're like favorite.
And she'll put on weight so quick. The way dry marcon just inhale anything in their path.
Well, they're like racers, right? They're so active, so they're constantly. They're always on the go.
Always on the go, and they just eat anything.
Oh yeah, they just go through it. Yeah, no, but that was sweet. And this one was pretty bitey. I would say she was probably pissed because, you know, I made her spat out her food, but she was
Yeah.
kind of pretty, which
And
I
how, was this animal 4 foot ish bigger?
you got it on the head, 4 foot-ish, not that big, but good size.
Beautiful.
Nice.
That's dude. Look at this scale. This is another reason I love your pictures. Like you can see every single scale on this thing. Like just the
Literally.
definition in these pictures is incredible, man.
Yeah, and one thing I love about like indigo scalation is kind of like that sheen that you have on car wax that car wax has.
Mhm.
They have that sheen to them, and it's just and they feel like it too. They feel like they have like a waxy. I mean, it's not like waxy, but it feels like they have something going on with their scales.
Right.
They have beautiful scalation though, for real.
Yeah, that is incredible. Oh,
So I don't know why I added this in here, just because the bird in me said too. But this is from the most recent trip. So that's
I like birds, so
that,
I'm with it.
yeah. What kind of maybe you guys know? I forget. It is like a white belly kite. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it's either a kite or a kestrel. I
No,
can't.
it is a kite, but I'm just thinking what it was. I think it's a
Yeah.
white kite. No, it had unreal red eyes. That's why I took a photo.
That's
And my
beautiful.
buddy told me, "Stop! It's a kite, dude."
That's
like
beautiful, man. Yeah, we get around here. We get the Mississippi kites and we get swallowtail kites.
Okay, I know. The Mississippi's, are they the ones with the weird beak for snails?
Yeah, they have some weird beaks. They're also a little bit smaller and they're completely gray.
Yeah,
Like a solid gray color. They're really cool.
yeah. I mean, I do like birds. You know, they are dinosaurs for a reason. And okay, and then this is so I got pretty lucky going to Oaxaca. This is what made me keep going back because I researched the areas where they frequent indigos, and like I go to them and I get rewarded. So you can't ask for a better scenario.
Wow.
This is from the last trip, and it was it wasn't our first day there, but it was our first day legit herping. And so I went to an area where I thought we have some luck, and we were walking the trail and whatnot, and then I hear noises in the brambles, and I look, and like I think it was a male, it was a big indigo, and it was on the go. It was like zoom, and though I never ran faster in my life. Dude,
That's incredible.
That is
man.
such an awesome looking picture, though.
Yeah, I love the pictures where you can really see the background in it.
yeah, and it's weird. This is where I say it's very quick, the transitory phases of habitat.
Yeah.
Kind of the coastal habitat that we saw in the beginning, but further on in the background, it goes back to dry rainforest.
Dry, shrubby-ish stuff, or
like legit rainforest. I say dry,
yeah.
dry season. It was a wet season now, but like just tropical rainforest.
No shit. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that was a much bigger, healthier looking indigo. It was a sweet snake. It was
It looks fat.
Yeah, it was girthy. It was about 5.5 feet. They don't get as big. I've heard in research they don't get as big as the ones we have in the States or other subspecies, but they're still a good sized snake. They're bigger than any rat snake of that size.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's incredible, man. Beautiful.
Okay, and then this is a sad situation. So we were with Rodrigo, and we went back to that one mountain range. And we went back actually to the neighborhood in the mountains where they'll hold on to snakes, or they'll be nice. This was a sad scenario because he talked to the guy I think a day or so beforehand, and the owner said he had found a coral snake, and then Rodrigo was like, "Oh my God, yeah, please keep it, try to put it somewhere if you can in a container." And so they did. They put it in like a 5-gallon bucket. Well, when we showed up the next day, apparently it had rained a lot. And they're still scared of snakes and they don't know much, but somehow it filled the rain filled up the bucket.
Oh no!
And then they took off the lid, and then it was just floating.
No,
damn,
just limp as all can be.
That's so sad.
It was terrible, man. We were so sad and pissed about it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, like, and obviously I'm not putting a slight on you, but like me in the scenario, I would have felt like a piece of shit, because it would have been like, if they wouldn't have told him not to hold on to it, that snake would still be alive.
Yes, but the only caveat is that Rodrigo, he'll always do that because he'll love to see a good snake. So
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would have had the same fate regardless. It was just
I
sad
got
to experience it firsthand. I was like,
Yeah.
shit, if we were here just a day earlier, you know, we'd
Yeah.
probably been alive. And it was a huge coral. It
It
was
looks
Yeah.
fucking massive.
big.
yeah, it was like 3 feet, legit. It was huge.
Jeez.
You know, it was my first coral to see in person. You know, so it's like it's a bummer way to see a lifer, but
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? Maybe next time.
Still cool to see it, you know.
And what's cool is the habitat. So what I'm saying is mountain range. So like, you know, this coral snake lives in like some decent elevation, which is weird for a coral snake because they're usually known for like, you know, bottomlands and flat, low areas. But we were a couple thousand feet up at this point.
That's
Damn.
so red. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know if I shared another one where I kind of posed it.
Oh wow.
Holy shit.
And you
Jeez.
it just like freshly succumbed to drowning, which is such a sucky way to go too. By the way, it sucks. I would put that on anything, animal
Yeah.
to drown. But yeah, it was nice. I'm going to make a post about it on Instagram someday, just kind of detailing the story more in depth. But yeah, what can you do? It was thing to look at least.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
Man.
What a freaking habitat.
Oh yeah, I definitely wanted to take more photos of the mountain range just to give you guys some, give myself too more context. I mean, just and obviously, it was kind of like in the middle of the wet season, so everything was greening out like crazy. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
like,
incredible.
Endless.
Woo-hoo. That's sick.
Mac
Daddy right there.
That's a chonker. Yeah. So yeah, we did go back to the mangroves, and we found some crocs. We surely did. This is one of the big males patrolling the system. But what's funny is that, you know, this guy was big. I think he was like 10 or 12 foot, but we saw another one that was bigger and like way more dominant.
Jeez, man.
Guy was like a subordinate male, and that's crazy saying that because it was a huge animal.
That's freaking unreal.
What a beaut. Well, that is the last of the photos that were in that album for
like Oaxaca.
For Oaxaca.
Yeah, I couldn't show everything, or we'd be here for hours, guys.
Oh no, dude. I mean, that was great. I mean, that took up plenty of time. Just incredible, man. I mean, wow. That's all I can say from that, dude. That is.
Me and Jake were talking. We're like, we're gonna want to go herping wherever this guy talks about. Now it's like, okay, I'm just gonna move to Mexico. Jesus.
Yeah, dude, that is unreal, man.
Yeah, and what's nice is that the ecotourism that's brought on by like the companies, you know, touring around the mangroves, it really pays dividends because they were hit, I think, a couple of years ago by a hurricane, and they like just decimated quite a few of the mangroves. And then, you know, through donations, just, you know, active tourism, they were able to replant a lot of it, and like they're doing the Lord's work, basically being champions of the mangroves.
That's cool. At least they're trying to bring their habitat back and know that it makes such a big deal in their environment. So,
well, it's a win-win, right? It's a win-win for the community, and then it's a win-win for everything that lives in mangrove systems.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. Well, real quick, you know, before we hit some of the wrap-up questions, I do want to do the other album that you sent to me. Yeah. So I'm not going to scroll through all of them, but you kind of tell me which ones you'd like me to click. Cause I mean, my
so
God.
The first ones were just like real local. So like, these are, you know, my local Nerodia and Lampropeltis. We can look at the young milk snake real quick just to see how they look.
That
was a male. That was beautiful. A male. One of my sites. You know, I still have a small sample size at this point. I've seen maybe over 30-ish milk snake spanning both my sites. And one thing I've noticed is that the males tend to be more vibrant. You know, it's just, you know, it's anecdotal evidence, but that's what I've noticed.
No shit.
You know, I'll have to look at the pair because I recently just acquired a pair of milk snakes from North Carolina, and one is more vibrant and one's a little darker. I'm going to see if I can't remember which is which, but I'm going to have to look at that.
Oh man, yeah. Get back with me. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. And then This is a different one. This is a young one. What's really cool about it is I was in a creek and there was like a big flat rock, and I was like, flat rock must flip. I flipped it expecting like Narodi or something.
Yeah.
No, this little guy curled up. I was like, what are you
Looks
doing?
like he's got a meal in him too.
Yeah, he had something. I was like, did he snag a fish or something? You see a milk snake?
Snagged a salamander. Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Do you think they would ever eat a salamander?
I don't see why not.
I don't know. That's really different prey for snakes and Lamprey in general, but I don't have many salamanders by me.
Okay.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, it's just like
Midland, right?
No, just common or northern, and just like with any of them, any populations show different phenotypes. Like there's some that are more, some that are more drab, gray, brown. That that's a queen snake closer to Chicagoland near the Des Plaines River. I like queen snakes. They're one of my favorite nature.
I want to find a queen snake so damn bad. We technically have them in South Carolina, but I gotta go more north.
Which is weird, right? Yeah, it makes sense. Rivers and whatnot. They like the rock bottom streams. I like them a lot. And then if you want to see a good sized midland, this is the one that my friend's holding on the right. That was the biggest midland.
Yeah, that's a dude.
Yeah, that's a bruiser.
Very
that
nice.
Is a big, that's a big water snake in general. Jesus.
Yeah, he saw it in the riprap and it went under a rock, and then I flipped it. I was like, holy shit, that's too much snake that I can handle, dude.
Dude, you don't know big water snake until you go catch the diamondback waters out in Texas. Oh my God. Diamondbacks and browns, you can find browns in Florida and you can find them here, but man, the biggest Narodi I've ever seen was a diamondback water out in Texas. I pulled one up that was nearly 6 feet long.
Dude, they're gargantuan. So I've seen you in Missouri, and I know what you mean. Just
giant.
They're enormous.
Yeah.
You kind of see why fishermen, are a little bit fearful and think like, I remember a big one I caught. They said, "Hey, what are you doing free handling a cottonmouth?" I was like, dude, trust me, it's not what that is. This is not what it is, but I can understand.
Look at the head on that thing.
It's colored.
It was big. It was pretty too. He had some nice reds and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a dude.
Yeah. Maybe some habitat, a little whiptail, race runner.
That's awesome.
So this gives some context because some people wouldn't realize that Illinois has habitat like that. Freaking.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I mean, it's legit desert when you go to this one.
Connected.
Oh, so something just happened with your audio, Bryant.
Oh, you guys, am I back?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're back. Okay, we're good.
Oh, I mean, just like I said, it's so dry and hot and xeric on the sand prairie, and like again, you just find all the same usual suspects: racers, bull snakes, hog noses. But I got lucky.
You got that thing to stay still that long.
Oh, hard! Yeah, you know how hard it is to freaking catch a race runner. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Let alone photograph one like that.
Yeah, we can. So that red mill snake there with the lichen, that's one from Missouri.
Yeah, little baby,
little red milk snake. That's mostly what they have. I still believe in Suspilla.
Yes.
So, yes, always. So yeah, they're gorgeous out there as well. Not as pretty as Southern Illinois ones, but they're pretty.
That's
what. Yeah, that was a nice baby one. And then we could see the bull snake to give them context, because bull snakes are my favorite.
Look at that smoker.
They're so dark out by you. They have that. I know the Kankakee is in
Northern Illinois.
Yeah, that's okay. It is Northern Illinois. But they still have that really dark look to them, man.
Yeah, so they're all variable, right? But that's why I find it funny, the Kankakee phenotype, when like it could be anywhere in Illinois that they can look like that.
Right. I think the Kankakee, I see, and for me, like being the locality nerd, I don't really like the term Kankakee phenotype. It's more of like the Illinois phenotype. These are just from Kankakee,
From that locale,
Yeah, it's that locality. They're more that black and white, sometimes more black and brown. I've even seen some.
Yeah, and it's more just that moniker is more just for the phenotype. You know,
Yeah.
I don't agree with it as well. But yeah, no, they're my favorite snakes.
That's
They're
beautiful, man.
That was a tank or what? That thing looks big.
Yeah.
No, it was an adult. It was like 4.5 feet, not as big as they get, but decent size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has some years on.
I also find it interesting with these, like, Pituophis in general are so weird and how the different subspecies vary, because you have like pine snakes and then some of your bull snakes, like from Texas, they have these giant eggs and giant babies, but very small clutches. Then your more northern stuff, like, in your area, they have a lot smaller babies and a lot smaller eggs, but they have a boatload of them.
Yeah.
And it's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like our bull snakes, they kind of look similar to some of the pine snakes.
Yeah.
I get a lot of pine snake vibes off of bull snake.
Yeah. For me, it's the little nose stripe right there that does it. That kind of gives them that pine look almost.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I love it, man. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Oh yeah, man. I gotta start winding down myself. But let's just see. We can look at
hit a fox snake.
We gotta look at the fox snakes.
So that one is atypical for our state, just for how gorgeous it is and vibrant. I mean, that to this day, the prettiest fox snake I've ever found.
That's incredible.
That is clean.
I mean, that is a cherry head fox snake.
Golly,
that
man.
is so sick.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a big male too. It was like about 4 feet, which is like really big for a fox snake around here.
Yeah.
And then got a little hawk. Oh, also, last year, not just a fox snake, but I got real lucky in seeing both our native hognoses. So we're blessed in a sense that, we're the easternmost range for plains hognose for westerns. So we have them both in the state. And
so that's the western and that's the eastern.
Yeah, last year we knocked it out. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Because they're state endangered, so you can't really be looking for them too much. And some preserves are fine, but this is from a population that's not well studied because it was literally out by me in central Illinois. So that's what made it an even bigger deal. My buddy spotted it. My buddy Michael.
That's incredible.
That thing's freaking awesome looking, dude.
It was a chonker looking female, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say that thing's a tank.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. And I also wanted to look at this because, oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't want to start spilling into my Arizona stuff, but yeah, that was a highlight, obviously.
Wow. Oh, man.
That's incredible.
Pyro!
Dude, so yeah, Sky, that's how I was. So we found it at night. And also, obviously, the preface, when you go to Arizona, please, for the love of God, even if you don't get held up or anything, buy the Fish and Game. Because, it's a well-known state. As you guys know, it's a well-known state for herpers to travel to herp. And you just, I wouldn't want anybody getting in trouble in that state, especially.
Yeah.
So yeah, buy your Fish and Game license or permit, whatever. But yeah, M was with me on that trip, and we found it on the side of a trail in a freaking rock pile at night. It was just cruising, and it was like in the low 70s. Like, it was cool. It's like we were finding sleeping lizards and some toads. I was like, well, we'll give it a little more go, but probably won't find nothing, which is fine. But I turned my head torch to the left, and I'm just seeing this thing gliding on the rocks. Like, oh my fucking God, dude!
I would have lost it.
Unreal.
Oh, it was unreal. It was the Uribe cat-eye snack. They're gorgeous as well, but man, there's something about these tricolor king snakes that we have. Oh, yeah. They're unreal.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, for sure.
We're spoiled. Our country's big. It's very big.
Liar.
What a find.
Liar fire. Yes.
What a find.
Yeah, I got lucky. I just flipped a random rock in a mountain range, and I'll
There
pop.
it is.
Like, yeah, just like magic. Like, okay.
That's insane, man. Well, yeah, I just wanted to highlight some of those before we wrap this up.
Yes.
And
We're
man,
gonna have to run back a freaking another episode.
Oh yeah, we're gonna run this back again, dude, because we didn't hardly even get to our questions. We just looked through pictures and told stories. I love it, man. I'm with it.
Good. I'm glad, man. It's fun hanging with you guys.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely have you on for another episode. But one question I always like to ask everybody, because everybody's got a weird story. So give us, one of your craziest stories from the field, whether it's freaky or just intense or whatever. Give us a story, man. One of your favorites.
Dude, man, I'm gonna drop the ball. I think I told you some of the better stories than what we went through. I gotta recollect.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. So in Arizona, Madeira Canyon. I don't care about giving a location. That's fine.
Yeah.
It was a wild experience. It wasn't like super intense, but it was a wild experience with a black-tailed rattlesnake.
Okay.
So my buddy M and I, he hung with me for a couple of days when I was in Arizona. I have a sister in Phoenix, so I was with her for about a week and a half. And then part of that time I spent with M, and then he left. And then so it's the same day I found that lyre snake. I was by myself just herping. A lot of times I herp the best when I'm by myself. And so I was in that mountain range just herping along, and then I'm hearing the glide of a snake. The continuous rustle when you hear a snake just glide. And I'm looking, and it's this beautiful golden snake, because they are pretty down there. And it's just trudging along, flicking its tongue like it's on a scent trail or something. And then, it notices me, like it has some certain tongue flicks my way, and then it's cruising to me. It's not like getting defensive, even though that species doesn't really get that defensive. It's not turning away, but it's coming to me. I think I even recorded it in my YouTube video. It's like, this is so strange. It's coming to me. And then when it finally got to maybe 6 inches, it just stopped in its tracks and then kind of looked up. And I was like, I heard these rattlesnakes were chill, but I didn't know they were that chill, And I just had a wonderful experience with that snake. I chilled with it for a good hour. I'm not gonna lie, a good hour, and I just took some photos, and it was wonderful.
That's awesome, man.
That's freaking sick.
Love it, man.
You love to hear shit like that, because it not only does it break like a normal stigmatism that people have of any snake, but rattlesnakes in general, but also
just animals.
If you just slow down and be calm and you just be one with nature, you will have experiences that people tell you and you think is fake like that. No one would have that experience. Like you said, you're out there alone, you're in your zone, you're locked in, and your senses are already so heightened, you're hearing things and you already know what it is. And then it's like, in that moment, you and that animal are connected, no words were spoken, but you guys were fully connected.
Sure. It's funny, man. As of late, I've definitely become more social and like herping socially, but my roots really are being by myself when I can, when I need to, and just herping or just being out in nature. I definitely do get in that zone of healing and just having a blast when I'm by myself.
Oh, it is.
Just one example. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story, man. I love it. Well, we will wrap this up, man. Bryant, where can people find you, follow you, and all that?
So my main thing is just Instagram. So it's Don, DON _ like Don, like mafia, because I was heavy into mafia stuff back then. And _ Bon, BON, and then _ junior, because I'm a junior. And then you could just find my page like that.
Yeah. Like I said, man,
I will shout out my YouTube. So it's a Golden Hipster. Not too many people have that channel name, so it's pretty easy. And it's my face holding the snake, so you'll see me.
Heck yeah, I'll have to follow that for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like I said, I've been following you for a long time now. It's probably been 3-4 years.
I want to say it's been like 2 or 3 for me, because when you were like, "Hey, have you heard of this guy or whatever?" and I was like, it sounds familiar. And then I looked at the page and I was like, oh yeah, I've been following this guy.
It might even be longer, dude. I might even be closer to like 5 years I've been following you. It's been a while, because I've
been on Instagram for a while now.
Yeah, I've been watching from afar.
Appreciating the work.
Yeah.
Now we're face to face.
Yes, man. That's also why I love this podcast, man, because you just when you get guys talking herping, it's just a whole other thing. You make new friends, new relationships.
Yeah,
and
it's our cave
get
time.
New herping buddies.
It's our cave time. Sorry to cut you off. It's our cave time. Life is filled with drama as it is. Life is tough in general. So it's nice that we can just retreat and just talk shop about everything nature, and especially what we love, herps.
Yeah, man. I love it.
We all got to connect one day and get some field time in, whether we come to your area or you come down to Jake's or my spot for sure.
Yeah, man, I wasn't joking. I'll let you guys know how next spring's looking. for sure.
No doubt, man. We'll definitely set something up. I'm about it because me and Sky are quite the travelers ourselves. I'm like you, man. I'll drive for hours. Like it's all good.
Yeah, I hit you up asking if you were going to Fest, but I know that was kind of tight since you just had a freaking Daytona a couple weeks beforehand. So it was awesome too. It was a good.
Did you go to Fest?
I did.
Nice. Yeah, it was a good experience
For the inaugural thing. Yeah, it was awesome.
Right.
Clint and Zach, I've talked with them before, but yeah, everybody was genuine, and obviously like the Zirkles, big name in our hobby. It was awesome.
Do they have a lot of Colubras there?
Almost only Colubras, man.
I mean, they're the old world rat snake freaking legends. So
yes, man, I love old world rats.
Love it. Well, thank you to everybody that tuned in live for this. And again, if you listen to this audio only, you got to come watch the video, man. I mean, some amazing pictures.
Follow his Instagram.
Got to follow his Instagram. If you're not following his Instagram, what are you doing?
You're missing out,
guys.
Get right.
It was a pleasure, dudes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, man. We really appreciate you coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, this has been episode 18 of Flippin' 10. And we will hit you guys with our closing remarks. And that is look and you will see, read and you will learn, think and you will know. That's from the rattlesnakes of the United States and Canada.
Sweet.
All right.
Appreciate you guys. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Ciao.